My child, stop right now. Do not scroll. Do not multitask. Do not tell yourself you will come back later, because this moment has been arranged with great urgency for you. I am speaking to you on purpose, at this exact time, because something in your life is shifting and you must not miss what I am about to deliver. You have felt the pressure, the stirring, the quiet knowing that change is no longer optional, and I have come to confirm it. These words are not casual, and they are not for everyone. They are targeted, intentional, and weighty. Stay with me until the very end, because every moment builds upon the last, and leaving early will cost you clarity. What you hear next will confront you, steady you, and call you forward. And once you hear it, you will never be able to say you did not know. My beloved child, slow your breathing and still your heart, because what is happening right now did not drift into your life by chance, nor did it slip past my awareness unnoticed. I need you to understand this deeply, not as a passing thought but as a truth that settles into your bones. This moment was not generated by curiosity, boredom, or accident. You did not simply arrive here because you were searching or scrolling or passing time. I brought you here. I interrupted the flow of your day on purpose because there are moments I mark in advance, moments I guard, moments I protect from distraction because they carry weight that cannot be delayed. Long before you reached this point in your life, before you knew the shape of your struggles or the names of your fears, I already knew this moment would be necessary. I saw the questions forming in your heart before you had language for them. I saw the quiet confusion, the pressure you've been carrying, the unspoken feeling that something is shifting but you cannot yet explain what it is. This is not coincidence. This is convergence. It is the meeting point between your readiness and my timing. I have watched you walk through days that felt ordinary on the surface but heavy underneath. I have watched you push through responsibilities while carrying an ache you could not define. And now I have brought you to a pause, not to frighten you, but to focus you. Because when I interrupt, it is never without reason. When I speak urgently, it is not because I am frantic, but because what I am delivering is time-sensitive. You are standing in a moment where awareness matters, where listening matters, where dismissing what you feel inside could cost you clarity. So I ask you, gently but firmly, do not rush past this. Do not reduce this to just another message. Let yourself recognize the gravity of being addressed personally, intentionally, lovingly, by the one who knows the full arc of your story. I know how easy it would be for you to question this, to tell yourself that you felt stirred before and life simply went on, that you've paused at moments like this and nothing dramatic happened afterward. But hear me now, my child, because this moment is different not in noise, but in necessity. I am not called overspedible, I am called overedimayan. There are seasons when I walk quietly beside you, allowing you to grow through routine, and there are moments when I step directly into your path and say, look at me. Listen to me. This matters. This is one of those moments. I am not speaking because something has gone wrong, but because something is about to shift, and I will not allow you to walk into what comes next unaware. Coincidence is what the mind reaches for when the heart is afraid to accept intention. But I do nothing without intention, and I have not reached for you now without purpose. Everything that led you here, the delays, the frustrations, the unanswered questions, the sense that you are standing on the edge of something but cannot yet see it clearly, hath been aligning you for this pause. This is where clarity begins. This is where confusion loosens its grip. This is where you stop telling yourself that life is just happening to you and begin to realize that you are being guided. I am not asking you to understand everything right now. I am asking you to acknowledge that you are not here by accident. Let that truth settle. Let it quiet the noise. Let it anchor you before we go any further, because what I will speak next builds upon this foundation. If you miss this, you will struggle to receive what follows. But if you accept it, if you allow yourself to believe that this moment was arranged, then your heart will open in a way it has not before. Stay with me here. This is only the beginning. My child, I need you to understand something with clarity that cuts through every doubt you've learned to hide behind. When I speak now, I am not aggressing a group, not speaking into the air, not releasing words meant to land wherever they may. I am speaking to you. Yes, you. The one reading this. The one whose heart subtly tightened when you read the sentence. I know how quickly your mind tries to deflect personal address, how it tells you, this applies to many people, or this could be for anyone, because receiving something this direct feels vulnerable. But I am not vague when I speak with intention. I call by name even when the name is unspoken. I see you where you are sitting. I know what you were thinking just before you arrive here. I know the tension you carry in your chest, the thoughts you silence before they become prayers, the way you've learned to appear composed while something inside you feels unresolved. This message is not generic comfort. It is targeted care. I am speaking into your specific season, your exact crossroads, your private wrestlings. You are not overhearing a conversation meant for someone else. You are not borrowing encouragement. This is a direct address, a personal interruption, a father leaning close enough that his voice is unmistakable if you allow yourself to hear it. And I know that part of you wants to step back from that closeness, because closeness requires response. But do not retreat now. I did not bring you this far to speak around you. I am speaking to you. There is a reason you feel exposed by that truth. There is a reason your heart feels both seen and unsettled at the same time. Being personally addressed disrupts the habit of hiding in the crowd. It removes the comfort of anonymity. And I know how long you've learned to survive by blending in, by being responsible, by being agreeable, by being strong without being honest about how tired you are. But hear me, my child. I am not speaking to the version of you that performs well. I am speaking to the version of you that sits quietly with questions at night. I am speaking to the one who wonders whether their life is truly aligned or just functional. I am speaking to the part of you that senses change is necessary but fears what change might cost. When I speak directly, it is not to accuse but to awaken. Direct speech is not harsh. It is precise. And precision is love when time matters. I am narrowing the focus because distraction has been your enemy. Too many voices, too many opinions, too many expectations have crowded out the still, clear knowing in your spirit. So I remove the noise and say plainly, this is for you. Not because you are special above others, but because you are mine, and I speak to my children personally when they need guidance, not general advice. Let yourself receive that without deflecting it. Let the weight of being seen settle without fear. I am not here to overwhelm you. I am here to reach you. And my child, let me say this gently but firmly. If you dismiss this as just another message, you will miss the intimacy of what I am offering. Because intimacy requires acknowledgement. You cannot receive personal guidance while insisting it is impersonal. You cannot be led if you refuse to be addressed. This is where many drift. Not because I stop speaking, but because they refuse to believe I am speaking to them. Do not make that mistake now. You have been praying for clarity, not noise. You have been asking for direction, not distraction. You have been longing to feel seen without being judged. This is that moment. This is me answering in the way your spirit understands best, directly. I am not raising my voice, but I am narrowing my gaze. I am not shouting, but I am steady. I am not distant, but I am deliberate. And as we move forward, everything I say will build upon this truth, that you are being personally guided, not broadly encouraged. Stay with me in that understanding, because what comes next will require you to know, without question, that I am speaking to you. My beloved child, I need to speak to you now about time, not in the way the world measures it, but in the way heaven weighs it. You have been taught to think of time as abundant, as something that stretches endlessly forward, something you can always return to later. Later decisions, later obedience, later courage, later change. And while patience has its place, delay is not the same as wisdom. There are moments when waiting is growth, and there are moments when waiting is avoidance disguised as caution. This is one of those moments where time matters more than you think. Not because you are running out of life, but because you are standing inside a window, an opening where alignment, opportunity, and readiness are intersecting. Windows do not close loudly. They close quietly. They close while people are deciding. They close while people are analyzing. And often, by the time someone realizes a season has shifted, they only notice because the air feels different and the ease they once had is gone. I speak urgently now because I love you enough to warn you before the window narrows. This is not pressure. This is protection. You are not late, but you are not early either. You are exactly on time, and that is why your response matters now. I know you have told yourself that you still have time to figure things out, time to become ready, time to feel more confident before you move. But readiness is not something that arrives fully formed. It is something that grows in motion. If you wait until fear disappears, you will wait forever. If you wait until everything is certain, you will miss the moment certainty was meant to be built through trust. Time is precious because moments of clarity do not linger indefinitely. There are seasons when your spirit is soft, when your awareness is heightened, when you can feel the pull toward change without being numb to it. Those seasons are gifts, and they are not guaranteed to repeat themselves in the same way. I am not threatening you. I am inviting you to value what is happening now. The stirring you feel is not random restlessness. It is timing. It is alignment. It is the signal that something is ready to move forward if you are willing to move with it. Do not confuse urgency with panic. Urgency is simply truth arriving at the right moment. And this moment is ripe with truth. Listen closely, my child, because this is where many misunderstand me. I am not asking you to rush recklessly. I am asking you not to waste clarity. There is a difference. Rushing ignores wisdom. Wasting clarity ignores responsibility. You have been given insight not to admire it, but to act upon it. Time becomes precious when insight is present, because insight demands response. And you have been receiving insight in layers, through discomfort, through questions, through a growing sense that what once satisfied you no longer does. That is time speaking. That is your spirit telling you that the season you are in is asking something of you. And I am confirming it now because I do not want you to talk yourself out of what you already know. Do not minimize this moment. Do not postpone your response. You do not need to solve everything today, but you do need to acknowledge that today matters. Choose awareness over autopilot. Choose responsiveness over delay. Choose movement over stagnation. Time is precious not because it is scarce, but because moments like this, where guidance, readiness, and opportunity converge, are sacred. And you are standing in one right now. My child, before you ever read these words, before you ever paused long enough to listen, something inside you had already begun to stir. That stirring was not random. It was not restlessness without cause. It was not weakness, confusion, or dissatisfaction with life for no reason. It was urgency, quiet at first, subtle, almost easy to dismiss but persistent. You felt it in moments when everything seemed fine on the surface, yet something inside you whispered, "There is more," or "Something needs to shift," or "I cannot stay like this forever." You tried to explain it away. You told yourself you were just tired, just overwhelmed, just thinking too much. But the feeling returned. And again. It followed you into quiet rooms. It sat beside you in moments of success. It surfaced when the noise died down and you were left alone with your thoughts. That was not anxiety, my child. That was awareness. That was my spirit pressing gently against your heart, saying, "Pay attention. This matters." Urgency does not always arrive with alarm bells. Sometimes it arrives as discomfort. Sometimes it arrives as a holy dissatisfaction with staying the same. And I know how hard you tried to ignore it, because urgency demands movement, and movement requires courage. You felt it when old routines stopped bringing peace. You felt it when things that once distracted you lost their power. You felt it when conversations felt shallow and your soul craved depth. You felt it when sleep came easily but rest did not. A tension between functioning and fulfillment. That is urgency. And you have been carrying it quietly, wondering why you cannot simply settle, why you cannot be content with good enough. But I did not design you for numb comfort. I did not wire your spirit for stagnation. That internal pressure you feel is not something to suppress, it is something to discern. Many people drown urgency with noise. They stay busy so they don't have to listen. They fill every moment so they never have to feel. But you could not drown it. Even when you tried, it resurfaced. Because urgency is not an enemy. It is a signal. It is the internal alarm that goes off when alignment is needed. And right now, my child, your spirit knows something your mind has been slow to accept. Staying where you are, as you are, is no longer an option if you want peace. Let me speak clearly here, because I do not want you confusing this urgency with fear. Fear pushes you to run. Urgency invites you to respond. Fear drains. Urgency sharpens. Fear clouds your vision. Urgency clarifies it. The enemy would love for you to believe that this pressure you feel is panic, that it means something is wrong with you. But I tell you the truth. It means something is waking up within you. It means your spirit is becoming aware of timing. It means you are no longer asleep to your own becoming. This is why the urgency has increased lately. This is why it feels closer and louder, harder to ignore. Not because danger is chasing you, but because purpose is calling you. And purpose does not whisper forever. It nudges, then presses, then calls. You are not behind. You are being summoned forward. And I am speaking now because I recognize the moment when urgency reaches the point where it must be interpreted correctly. Mishandled urgency becomes anxiety. Honored urgency becomes obedience. So do not fight what you feel. Do not shame yourself for it. Do not numb it. Sit with it. Listen to it. Ask what it is pointing toward. Because urgency always points somewhere. It never exists without direction. And as we continue, I will help you understand what this urgency is asking of you. Not all at once, not recklessly, but faithfully. You are not breaking down. You are breaking through awareness. And I am right here with you as it happens. My beloved child, if you look back carefully, not with judgment, but with honesty, you will see that this is not the first time I have reached for you. This is not the first moment I tried to get your attention. It is simply the clearest. I have been calling you in layers, in patterns, in repetition, because love does not give up after one unanswered call. I have spoken to you in quiet nudges you brushed aside. I have spoken through interruptions that slowed you down when you wanted to move faster. I have spoken through closed doors you were frustrated by and delays you did not understand. You thought those moments were obstacles. You thought they were inconveniences. But they were invitations. Invitations to pause. Invitations to reflect. Invitations to ask deeper questions than how do I fix this? I was asking you to ask why am I here? And where am I being led? But each time, you told yourself you would listen later. When things calmed down. When life felt more manageable. When you had more clarity. And still, I waited. Still, I called again. I have called you through repetition, because repetition is not punishment. It is emphasis. When something appears again and again in your life, it is not random. It is a signal that the message has not yet been received. You noticed patterns you could not explain. Similar lessons showing up in different situations. The same type of discomfort appearing in different environments. The same inner question resurfacing no matter how much you tried to resolve it externally. That was me, my child, circling back with you, not because you failed to listen, but because you were still learning how. I do not shame my children for needing reminders. I repeat because I care. I repeat because timing matters. I repeat because sometimes the heart needs to hear something many times before it is ready to respond. But understand this. Repetition always escalates. The calling grows clearer. The interruptions grow stronger. The urgency increases. Not because I grow impatient, but because the moment draws nearer. And now, here you are. Not by accident. Not because you finally figured everything out, but because repetition has done its work. You are more aware now than you were before. More honest. More open. Less able to pretend you don't hear me. And that is why this moment feels different. This is not just another nudge. This is a summoning. I am no longer speaking around the edges of your life. I am speaking directly into its center. Because the season has shifted. What once could be postponed can no longer be ignored without cost. And I do not say that to frighten you. I say it to ground you in truth. Love warns. Love prepares. Love speaks plainly when the moment requires it. So do not tell yourself, I will respond next time. This is the response time. This is the moment repetition has been leading toward. You have not been failing to hear. You have been being prepared to answer. And now, my child, the calling is not distant. It is near. It is present. It is personal. And I am asking you to stop interpreting my voice as background noise in your life. It is not background. It is direction. It is not interference. It is alignment. You are not being interrupted. You are being guided. And as we continue, I will show you what this calling requires, step by step, breath by breath, without abandoning you to figure it out alone. My beloved child, I need you to recognize where you are standing, because this place is not ordinary ground. You are not simply moving through another phase, another stretch of days that blur together and eventually pass. You are standing at a turning point, a threshold where direction matters more than speed and response matters more than comfort. Turning points rarely announce themselves with certainty. They do not always arrive with clear signs or dramatic confirmations. More often, they arrive quietly, disguised as decisions you feel unprepared to make, or truths you feel unable to ignore any longer. This is one of those moments. You can feel it in the way your spirit leans forward even as your mind hesitates. You can feel it in the tension between who you have been and who you sense you are being asked to become. Turning points feel uncomfortable because they expose the gap between what is familiar and what is faithful. And right now, that gap is standing open before you. I did not bring you here to frighten you. I brought you here to awaken you. Because remaining unaware at a turning point is far more dangerous than making an imperfect choice. You have reached a place where continuing as you have been will quietly cost you more than changing ever could. You have felt this, even if you could not articulate it. The old patterns no longer satisfy, but the new direction has not yet fully revealed itself. That in-between space is where many people retreat. They choose familiarity over truth. They choose predictability over purpose. They tell themselves that staying the same is safer than risking the unknown. But my child, stagnation is not safety. It is slow erosion. And I love you too much to let you drift through a turning point without naming it. A turning point does not demand perfection. It demands honesty. It asks one question again and again until it is answered. Will you keep circling what you already know? Or will you step toward what is calling you forward? I am not rushing you, but I am grounding you in reality. Neutral ground does not exist at a turning point. Choosing not to choose is still a choice. Silence is still a response. And the path you take from here will shape not just what you do, but who you become. Listen carefully, my child, because turning points are sacred not because they are dramatic, but because they are decisive. This is where alignment is formed or fractured. This is where clarity is either embraced or avoided. You do not need to see the entire road ahead to take the next faithful step, but you do need to acknowledge that standing still is no longer neutral. You are not being punished by pressure, you are being invited into purpose. And purpose always asks for response. The reason this moment feels heavy is because it carries weight. The reason it feels urgent is because it matters. I am not asking you to leap blindly. I am asking you to stop pretending that this is just another day. It is not. Something is shifting, and you are part of that shift. You are not late. You are not behind. You are right on time at a moment that will not wait forever. And as we move forward together, I will guide you step by step, but only if you are willing to turn. My child, I know how quickly the human heart learns to protect itself by minimizing what it feels. I know how easily you can tell yourself, these are just words, or this sounds meaningful, but it will pass, or I felt stirred before and life continued the same. That instinct is understandable, but it is dangerous here. Because these are not empty words. They are not passing thoughts. They are not poetic encouragement meant to inspire and then fade. These words are weight-bearing. They carry intention. They carry direction. They carry consequence. Words shape realities long before actions do, and I am speaking now because what you believe about these words will determine what you do with them. If you dismiss them, they will lose their power, not because they were weak, but because you refuse to carry them. Many have missed their moment not because they lacked opportunity, but because they underestimated what was being offered. Do not make that mistake here. Treat these words as what they are. Guidance delivered at the right time, to the right heart, for a reason that will become clearer as you respond. You have been conditioned to consume messages quickly, to move on to the next thing without allowing anything to settle. But this is not something to scroll past internally. This is something to sit with, to wrestle with, to let press against your assumptions and reorder your priorities. High-impact words do not shout, they echo. They return to you when the noise fades. They surface in quiet moments. They ask for space in your thoughts. And I know part of you wants to keep moving, because stopping would mean acknowledging that something real is happening. But I am inviting you to stop now, not in fear, but in reverence. When I speak, I do so with purpose. I do not waste language. Every phrase carries intention. Every repetition is emphasis. Every contrast is clarity. If I repeat myself, it is because you need to hear it more than once. If I speak urgently, it is because delay has consequences. And if I speak personally, it is because relationship demands it. These are not words to admire. They are words to receive. So I ask you, my beloved child, to guard this moment. Do not let distractions steal it. Do not let cynicism dull it. Do not let familiarity rob it of its weight. Stay present. Stay open. Stay honest. Because what I am doing here is not merely informing you. It is forming you. The shape of your response will shape what comes next. And I will not abandon you to figure that out alone. I'm here speaking, guiding, clarifying. But I will not force you to listen. Love never forces. It invites. And right now, I am inviting you to treat these words as holy ground, not because of how they sound, but because of what they are asking of you. Stay with me. We are not finished. My beloved child, there are battles you have fought that never made it into conversation, struggles you carried so quietly that even those closest to you never knew the weight you were bearing. I see them. I have always seen them. I saw the nights when you lay awake, staring into the dark, replaying moments you wish you had handled differently, conversations you never had the courage to finish, choices you made because you thought you had no other option. I saw the mornings when you forced yourself to rise, to function, to meet expectations, even though your spirit felt bruised and tired. You learned how to survive without revealing how much it cost you. You learned how to smile while carrying questions you did not know how to ask. And because no one else saw the depth of those battles, you sometimes wondered if they even mattered, if they were real, if you were simply being weak. But hear me now, my child. Unseen does not mean insignificant. Silent does not mean small. The battles you never spoke about shaped you more than the ones others noticed. And I have been with you in every one of them. I saw you wrestle with self-doubt that crept in quietly, questioning your worth, your direction, your impact. I saw you compare yourself to others and come away feeling behind, inadequate, or invisible. I saw you carry responsibility without support, pressure without relief, expectation without affirmation. I saw how often you blamed yourself for things that were never your fault, how you replayed mistakes long after they should have been released. You fought battles in your mind, battles in your heart, battles in your identity, and you fought them without applause, without reassurance, without anyone telling you that what you were facing was real and heavy. But I was there. When your thoughts turned against you, I was there. When shame whispered that you were not enough, I was there. When you questioned whether you were losing ground or losing faith, I was there. You did not imagine the weight. You did not exaggerate the struggle. You endured it. And endurance leaves marks, not of weakness, but of strength forged in secrecy. My child, I need you to understand something vital here. The battles you never spoke about did not weaken you. They refined you. They taught you empathy where others have indifference. They taught you patience where others rush. They taught you depth where others remain shallow. And yes, they also tired you. They wore you down. They left you longing for rest you could not explain. But do not confuse weariness with failure. Weariness is often the evidence of long faithfulness under pressure. You kept going when quitting would have been easier. You stayed when leaving would have felt justified. You held on when no one would have blamed you for letting go. And I saw every moment of that quiet perseverance. I recorded it. I honored it. I did not overlook it. And now, as I speak to you with urgency, I do so with full awareness of what you have already survived. I am not asking you to be strong without reason. I am acknowledging the strength you have already shown. So let this truth settle in you, my beloved child. You are not fragile because you feel tired. You are not weak because you feel the weight of what you have carried. You are not behind because your journey hath been heavy. You are here because you endured. And I am speaking now not to add another burden, but to release you from carrying these battles alone any longer. You do not have to explain them to be validated. You do not have to justify them to be seen. I see them. I always have. And as we move forward, I will not lead you as if you are untouched by struggle. I will lead you as one who has proven faithful in hidden places. Stay with me. You are not alone in this moment, and you never were. My child, I have seen how much you have carried in silence, and I tell you this now because timing matters. What you release from your hand becomes light in another's darkness. As you have endured unseen battles, so this word now travels to souls who are fighting theirs alone, and your obedience becomes oil poured where wounds are hidden. I say to you, as I said through my word, those who sow in tears shall reap with songs of joy, and this sowing is not small in my sight. This is not about obligation. This is my invitation to partner with me in rescuing hearts you may never meet. When you give through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, you place seed into living ground, and I breathe on it. I will multiply what you release, protect what concerns you, and open rivers where drought has lingered. The PayPal link is in the video description. Do not delay. Act now, and let your endurance become provision for many. My beloved child, I know how long you have waited for reassurance that you were not imagining what you felt, that the questions stirring inside you were not random, that the pull toward change was not simply restlessness or dissatisfaction. You have asked quietly, sometimes boldly, sometimes with hesitation, is this real? Am I sensing something true, or am I just tired of where I am? You waited for confirmation, something solid, something unmistakable, something that would tell you that you were not about to make a mistake by listening to your spirit. And now I tell you plainly, this is that confirmation. Not because it answers every question, but because it speaks directly to the one who asked them. Confirmation rarely arrives as a detailed map. More often, it arrives as clarity about the next step. And clarity has arrived for you now. You have been looking for signs that you could trust, signs that did not require you to leap blindly or abandon wisdom. You did not want emotional hype. You wanted truth. You wanted assurance. You wanted to know that responding would not lead you into confusion or regret. And I honor that desire. I am not offended by your caution. I am not threatened by your questions. But hear me carefully. Confirmation does not remove the need for faith. It directs it. And what you are receiving now is direction. This moment is not loud, but it is deliberate. It is not dramatic, but it is precise. It lands exactly where your questions live. It speaks to what you have not said out loud. It addresses what you have been circling internally. That is how you know it is confirmation. It meets you where you are, not where you pretend to be. My child, confirmation often comes with a sense of recognition rather than surprise. Something in you says, yes, this is it. This is what I have been waiting for, even if you cannot yet explain why. That recognition is not coincidence. It is alignment. Your spirit recognizes truth before your mind organizes it. And that is why this moment feels both calming and unsettling at the same time. Calming because something finally makes sense. Unsettling because confirmation demands response. It closes the door on pretending you did not know. It removes the comfort of indecision. And I know that part of you wishes confirmation would arrive without consequence. But true confirmation always carries responsibility. Not to rush, not to panic, but to respond honestly. So I say this to you gently and firmly. Do not ask again whether this is your sign. Do not keep waiting for something clear while clarity is already present. Do not postpone what you already recognize as true. You are not being pushed. You are being invited. You are not being pressured. You are being guided. And I will not abandon you once you respond. I do not confirm and then disappear. I confirm so that we can move forward together. Let this moment anchor you. Let it settle your questions. Let it steady your heart. You have been waiting for confirmation, and now you have it. Stay with me, my beloved child. We are not finished yet. My beloved child, I need you to hear this without fear but with clarity, because love speaks truth even when truth carries weight. Some doors do not stay open forever. Not because I am cruel, not because I withdraw love, and not because grace runs out, but because seasons move, timing matters, and opportunities are living things that respond to readiness. I know how comforting it feels to believe that everything can be revisited later, that every invitation could be answered when you feel more prepared, more confident, more certain. But life does not always work that way, and neither does purpose. There are moments when alignment creates an opening, and that opening is sustained by attention and response. When ignored too long, it closes quietly, not with drama, not with warning sirens, but with a subtle shift that you only recognize once it has passed. I am speaking now because you are standing in front of a door that has opened due to your growth, your endurance, your awareness, and your willingness to listen. This door did not appear randomly. It appeared because you are ready enough to see it. But readiness must be met with response, or it fades into regret disguised as reflection. I know part of you resists this truth because it feels heavy. You worry that urgency means pressure, that movement means risk, that stepping forward could lead to loss instead of gain. But hear me carefully, my child. Delay is not neutral. Waiting can either be wisdom or avoidance, depending on what is being asked of you. Wisdom waits for clarity. Avoidance waits for certainty that never comes. And right now, clarity is present. Not full answers, not total visibility, but enough light to take the next faithful step. That is how doors work. They do not reveal everything beyond them. They simply open and ask, will you trust enough to enter? Many people miss doors not because they are disobedient, but because they are cautious to the point of paralysis. They tell themselves they are being responsible, but deep down, they are afraid of being changed by what lies beyond the threshold. And change always lies beyond an open door. Comfort lives behind closed ones. I am not threatening you with loss. I am inviting you into discernment. This door is open now because the conditions are right. Because your heart is awake. Because your spirit is listening. Because the season supports movement. And alignment will not always feel the same. And I do not want you looking back later, wondering why you hesitated when you felt so clearly called. My child, doors that close are not punishments. They are transitions that occur when timing has passed. And I want to spare you the ache of hindsight. I want to spare you the quiet grief of saying, I knew I should have moved then. That is why I speak now, with urgency wrapped in love. You are not being rushed into recklessness. You are being invited into responsiveness. There is a difference. Responsiveness honors timing. Recklessness ignores wisdom. I am not asking you to leap blindly. I am asking you to recognize that this opportunity is alive now. This opening is breathing now. It responds to your attention. And as we continue, I will help you discern what kind of door this is, what it requires, what it leads to, and how to step through without abandoning peace. But first, you must accept this truth without fear. Not every door waits indefinitely. Some wait long enough for the willing heart, and then they move on. Stay with me. We will walk through this together. My beloved child, before we go any further, we must address the voice that has been quietly shaping your hesitation. Fear has been whispering lies to you, and it has done so gently enough that you almost mistook it for wisdom. Fear rarely arrives shouting. It whispers. It questions. It suggests. It sounds reasonable. It tells you to slow down when you need to move, to stay small when you are meant to grow, to wait when the moment calls for response. Fear does not always say, do not go. Sometimes it says, not yet. Sometimes it says, what if you fail? Sometimes it says, you are not ready. And because those whispers sound cautious, you have listened to them longer than you should have. But hear me now, my child. Fear is not protecting you. It is preserving your comfort at the cost of your calling. And comfort, when elevated above truth, becomes a cage disguised as safety. Fear has told you that obedience will cost you more than it gives. It has painted images of loss, embarrassment, rejection, and regret, while staying conveniently silent about the cost of staying where you are. Fear always exaggerates risk and minimizes reward. It tells you the storm beyond the door is worse than the stagnation behind it. But stagnation slowly drains life, while storms refine it. Fear told you that if you wait long enough, clarity will arrive without movement. But clarity grows clearer through obedience, not avoidance. Fear told you that other people have it figured out and you do not. Fear told you that you are behind, that you missed something, that stepping forward now will expose you. But fear is a liar, my child. It speaks in half-truths and worst-case scenarios. It shows you imagined futures that never arrive and hides the grace that would meet you there if they did. I have not given you fear as a guide. I have given you discernment, peace, and courage. Fear imitates discernment but lacks its fruit. Discernment leads to clarity and calm. Fear leads to paralysis and rumination. You know the difference because you have felt it in your body, in your breath, in the tightness in your chest when you consider moving forward. Let me be very clear with you now, because love does not allow lies to linger unchallenged. Fear will always argue for delay at the very moment obedience becomes necessary. It will tell you to gather more information when what you need is trust. It will tell you to wait for permission when I have already spoken. It will tell you that safety is found in sameness, even when sameness is suffocating you. But I did not design you to live led by fear. I designed you to live led by truth. And truth is steady, not frantic. Truth is clear, not confusing. Truth does not run, but it does not retrieve. Fear wants you to believe that doing nothing is the safest option. But doing nothing when you are being called forward is not safety. It is surrender to stagnation. I am not asking you to banish fear completely. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is obedience in its presence. I am asking you to stop letting fear be the final voice in your decisions. Let it speak, but do not let it decide. So I say this to you now, my beloved child. Name the lies you have been listening to. Call them what they are. They lose power when they are exposed. And as we continue, I will replace those whispers with truth spoken clearly, repeatedly, patiently, until your heart learns to recognize my voice above all others. You are not reckless for moving forward. You are not foolish for trusting. You are not weak for feeling afraid. But you would be mistaken to let fear lead you any longer. Stay with me. We are moving into clearer ground. My beloved child, I need you to understand something with absolute clarity, because confusion has tried to blur this truth for far too long. I am calling you forward, not back. I am not inviting you to relive what you have already survived, nor am I asking you to return to versions of yourself that were built for endurance rather than fulfillment. You have learned how to survive. You have learned how to cope. You have learned how to manage disappointment, delay, and uncertainty. But survival is not the destination. Endurance was never meant to be permanent housing. It was a bridge, and you have crossed it. Yet I see how often your mind drifts backward, revisiting old patterns, old comforts, old compromises, not because they were good, but because they are familiar. Familiarity feels safe when forward feels uncertain. But hear me now. Familiarity is not the same as faithfulness. I am not asking you to abandon wisdom. I am asking you to stop anchoring yourself to what no longer fits the person you are becoming. Forward is uncomfortable because it stretches you. Back feels easier because it shrinks you. And I did not create you to live diminished by what you have already outgrown. I know the pull of the past is subtle. It does not always shout. Sometimes it whispers, "At least you knew who you were back then." Sometimes it says, "It was easier when expectations were lower." Sometimes it tempts you with the illusion of control, because when you look back, you already know how the story went. But my child, control is not peace, and predictability is not purpose. I am calling you forward because forward is where growth happens, where alignment deepens, where clarity sharpens through obedience. The past may feel stable, but it cannot sustain you anymore. That is why returning to old ways feels hollow now. That is why old habits no longer bring rest. That is why familiar environments feel tight instead of comforting. Your spirit knows you have moved on, even if your mind is hesitant to follow. I am not calling you forward to punish you for staying back too long. I am calling you forward because the version of you that is emerging cannot survive on yesterday's provisions. New wine requires new space. New purpose requires new posture. And you cannot step into what is ahead while clutching what is behind. So I say this gently but firmly, my beloved child, stop interpreting discomfort as danger. Forward often feels unstable at first because it requires trust. But trust is built by movement, not by retreat. I am not asking you to sprint. I am asking you to stop reversing. Every time you choose courage over familiarity, you take ground. Every time you release an old identity that no longer serves you, you make room for truth. Forward does not mean reckless change. It means faithful progression. And I am with you in every step of it. I am not waiting for you at the finish line, arms crossed. I am walking beside you, adjusting your pace, steadying your steps, reminding you who you are when doubt tries to pull you backward. You are not losing anything by moving forward that was meant to stay with you. You are only shedding what cannot go where you are being led. Stay with me. We are moving ahead together. My beloved child, I know how weak you feel right now, and I know how tempting it is to believe that feeling tired means you are incapable. But hear me clearly. You are stronger than you feel. Strength is not always loud. It does not always announce itself with confidence or energy. Often, true strength looks like showing up when you would rather disappear, choosing honesty when silence feels safer, and continuing to walk even when your legs feel heavy. You have been measuring your strength by your emotions, and emotions fluctuate. But your strength has been proven by your persistence. You are still here. You are still listening. You are still responding. That alone tells me more about your strength than how motivated you feel today. Feelings rise and fall, but endurance leaves evidence. And your life is full of it. You have endured seasons that would have broken others. You have carried weight that was never meant to rest on one heart alone. You have made decisions under pressure without clear answers, and you survived them. You have stayed kind in environments that rewarded hardness. You have stayed thoughtful in moments that tempted you to shut down. And yes, all of that has left you tired. But tired does not mean defeated. Exhaustion does not erase capability. It simply signals that you have been strong for a long time. And I see that. I honor that. I am not disappointed in you for feeling worn. I am proud of you for remaining faithful under strain. Many would have quit. Many would have numbed themselves. Many would have hardened their horse. You did not. You kept your heart open, even when it hurt. That is strength. My child, let me reframe something for you. Strength is not the absence of need. Strength is the willingness to move forward even while acknowledging need. You are not meant to carry this next season on the same fuel you used for survival. I am not asking you to push harder. I am asking you to trust deeper. The strength you need now will not come from striving. It will come from alignment. When you move in step with my leading, strength rises naturally. Peace replaces resistance. Energy returns where purpose is clear. You feel weak because you have been carrying what you were meant to release. And as we continue, I will help you lay those weights down. But do not mistake this momentary weariness for inability. You are capable. You are resilient. You are more prepared than you think. And I would not be calling you forward if I had not already equipped you to walk there. Stay with me, my beloved child. Your strength is not gone. It is simply being redirected. My beloved child, before you can carry what I am placing into your hands, you must first look at what your hands are already holding. You have been clutching things tightly, not because they are good, not because they are life-giving, but because they are familiar. You have held on to identities that once protected you, coping mechanisms that once helped you survive, narratives about yourself that once made sense in pain but no longer fit in healing. You have been gripping old fears, old disappointments, old expectations, even old versions of yourself, telling yourself that letting go would be too risky, too painful, too uncertain. But hear me now, with clarity and compassion. What you are clutching is not keeping you safe. It is keeping you stuck. Hands that are clenched cannot receive. Arms that are full cannot be filled. And I am not asking you to release these things to punish you. I am asking you to release them because they have already served their purpose. What once sustained you is now constraining you, and love will not allow constraint to masquerade as security forever. I know why you hold on. Letting go feels like loss, even when what you're holding is heavy. There is a strange comfort in familiar pain, because at least you know how it behaves. You know how to brace for it. You know how to survive around it. But survival is not the same as freedom. You learned to carry these weights in seasons when you had no other choice, when endurance was your only option. And I honored you for that endurance. I was with you in it. But that season has shifted, and what once functioned as armor has become unnecessary weight. You are still walking as if you must protect yourself from wounds that no longer define your future. You are still guarding against outcomes that no longer have authority over your life. And every time you tighten your grip on the past, you strain your ability to step fully into the present. Letting go does not mean denying what happened. It means releasing its right to dictate what happens next. And I am inviting you, gently but firmly, to loosen your grip. Listen to me, my child, because this is sacred work. Release is not weakness. Release is trust. It is saying, I no longer need to control what has already been surrendered to truth. When you let go, you are not abandoning yourself. You are honoring your growth. You are acknowledging that you are no longer the person who needed those defenses. And yes, release can feel like standing empty-handed for a moment. It can feel exposed. It can feel vulnerable. But emptiness is not absence. It is readiness. It is the posture of reception. And I do not ask you to release without promise. I ask you to release because I intend to replace. What you let go of will not leave a void. It will make room. Room for peace where anxiety lived. Room for clarity where confusion lingered. Room for trust where fear once ruled. My child, open your hands. Not all at once if you must, but deliberately, faithfully. You are not looting yourself, you are freeing yourself. Stay with me. I am guiding you through this release, and I will not let you fall. My beloved child, I want to speak to you now about obedience, not the kind rooted in fear or performance, but the kind born of trust. Obedience in this hour is the key, and I need you to understand why. You have spent so much time trying to discern the perfect plan, the safest route, the most certain outcome, that you have underestimated the power of simple, faithful response. Obedience is not about understanding everything before you move. It is about honoring what you already know. It is not dramatic. It is not loud. It is often quiet, unseen, and profoundly powerful. Obedience aligns you with timing. It positions you where provision flows. It unlocks doors that effort alone cannot open. And right now, the reason you feel tension between clarity and hesitation is because obedience is being asked of you. Not later, not eventually, but now. You have been waiting for assurance that obedience will be rewarded, that it will not cost you too much, that it will not lead you into discomfort or misunderstanding. But obedience is not a transaction. It is a relationship. You do not obey to earn love. You obey because love has already been established. And I know the word itself has been misused, weaponized, associated with pressure or control in your past. But that is not how I speak it to you. When I call you to obedience, I am calling you into alignment, not submission to fear. Obedience is how you cooperate with grace. It is how you step into flow instead of resistance. You have felt resistance lately, not because you are doing something wrong, but because you are trying to move forward without fully yielding to direction. Partial obedience keeps you tired. Full obedience brings rest. And I desire rest for you, not striving. My child, obedience does not require perfection. It requires honesty. It does not demand that you feel brave. It asks that you be willing. When you obey, even in small ways, momentum begins to build. Peace follows action. Clarity sharpens with movement. And the anxiety you feel now, anxiety born of indecision, begins to dissolve. You are not being asked to obey blindly. You are being asked to obey faithfully. You already know the next step. You have known it for some time. You have just been hoping it would change. But obedience is not about waiting for a different instruction. It is about responding to the one already given. And I would not ask this of you if I had not already gone before you. I do not send you where I have not prepared the way. So hear me clearly, my beloved child. This hour requires response. Not tomorrow. Not when conditions feel ideal. Now, obedience is the key, not because I withhold blessing, but because blessing flows through alignment. Step into alignment, and you will feel the shift. Step into obedience, and you will feel the weight lift. You are not surrendering control to chaos. You are surrendering it to care. Stay with me. We are unlocking something together. My beloved child, before we go any further, I need to remove a weight from your heart that you have been carrying far too long. I am not here to condemn you. I am not speaking to shame you, to expose you, or to remind you of everything you wish you had done differently. Condemnation is not my language. It is not my posture. It is not my purpose. I know you have encountered voices in your life that spoke with authority but lacked compassion, voices that pointed out your failures without offering guidance, voices that made you feel that being seen meant being judged. And because of that, when urgency enters the room, part of you braces for accusation. Part of you waits for the moment when love turns sharp and patience runs out. But hear me clearly now, and let this truth settle deep. Urgency does not mean anger. Clarity does not mean rejection. I speak urgently because I care, not because I condemn. I speak directly because I love, not because I am disappointed in who you are. I see how quickly your mind reviews your past when you feel called forward. You replay moments where you hesitated, times when you knew better but chose comfort, seasons when fear made your decisions smaller than your potential. And the enemy has been quick to weaponize those memories, whispering that you have disqualified yourself, that you waited too long, that you failed too often. But condemnation always points backward and paralyzes. My voice points forward and restores. Condemnation says, you should have known better. I say, you are learning. Condemnation says, it's too late. I say, you are still here. Condemnation says, you are the problem. I say, you are my child. If I were here to condemn you, I would not be speaking to guide you. I would not be walking with you patiently through these moments of awakening. I would not be inviting you to respond. I would have already turned away. But I have not. I am here. I have stayed. And that alone tells you everything you need to know about my heart toward you. So release the fear that this message is an indictment of your past. It is not. It is an invitation into your future. I am not tallying your mistakes. I am not measuring you against someone else's pace or path. I am speaking to who you are becoming, not who you once were. Growth does not erase history, but it redeems it. Every delay you regret has taught you something. Every misstep you mourn has sharpened your discernment. And every season you survived has strengthened your capacity to carry what comes next. I do not lead with condemnation. I lead with correction wrapped in care. Correction is not punishment. It is alignment. And alignment is love in action. So breathe, my child. You are not in trouble. You are being guided. You are not being scolded. You are being shepherded. And as we continue, let your heart remain open, unguarded by shame, anchored in trust. I am not here to condemn you. I am here to walk you forward. My beloved child, hear me. There is no condemnation in this moment, only calling. I am not asking you to give out of guilt, but out of alignment. For generosity born of love carries my fire to places fear once ruled. As my word declares, give, and it will be given to you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over, and I speak that promise over you now. When you support this mission through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, you help carry my voice to those who think they have gone too far to be reached. This is not pressure. This is participation in redemption. I bless your giving with clarity, favor, and protection, and I will restore more than you release. The PayPal link is waiting in the video description. Respond now. Step forward and obey me. My beloved child, I know one of the heaviest fears you carry quietly is the fear that you are too late. Too late to change. Too late to begin again. Too late to step into what you once sensed was possible. Time has a way of whispering accusations when seasons pass and circumstances harden. telling you that the window has closed, that the moment has slipped through your fingers, that you missed your chance while you were still deciding. And I know how convincing that voice can sound, especially when you measure your life against expectations that were never mine to begin with. But hear me now, then hear me clearly. You are not too late. You are not behind. You have not missed me. If you had, you would not be here, listening, responding, feeling this stirring in your spirit. Dead things do not respond to calling. Only living hearts do. And your heart is very much alive. You are late only if you believe timing is controlled by regret instead of grace. You are late only if you assume your story is linear and unforgiving. But I do not operate by human clocks alone. I work in seasons, and seasons do not follow calendars. They follow readiness. Some seeds sprout quickly. Others remain hidden longer, developing roots deep enough to support what will eventually grow. You compare your journey to others and conclude that you are behind, but you do not see what I see. You do not see how much strength has been formed in you during the waiting. You do not see how much clarity has emerged through delay. You do not see how many detours protected you from paths that would have cost you far more than time. You call it late. I call it prepared. You call it wasted. I call it formative. Nothing in your life has been random, and nothing has disqualified you from responding now. Let me speak directly to the fear that tells you, if I had acted sooner, things would be different. Perhaps they would have. Or perhaps they would have broken you before you were ready to carry them. Timing is not just about opportunity. It is about capacity. And your capacity has grown. Your discernment has sharpened. Your humility has deepened. You are more grounded now than you were then. You are more honest now, more aware, more willing. And that matters. I am not calling the version of you that existed years ago. I am calling you now, this version, in this moment, with this understanding. And I do not call late. I call on time. Responding now is not settling for less. It is stepping into what have been maturing beneath the surface all along. So do not let regret rob you of readiness. Do not let comparison distort your vision. You are not too late. You are here. And here is where movement begins. My beloved child, I need you to understand the nature of the season you are in, because misunderstanding it will cause you to fight what is meant to free you. This is not a season of punishment. It is not a season of loss. It is not a season of confusion, even though confusion has tried to linger at the edges. This is a season of alignment. Alignment is uncomfortable because it requires adjustment. It requires letting go of angles that once worked and straightening paths that have grown crooked through survival, compromise, or necessity. Alignment presses gently but persistently, asking you to bring your heart, your choices, your habits, and your hopes back into harmony with truth. And harmony did not happen accidentally. It happens intentionally, through awareness and response. You have felt this pressure not because something is wrong with you, but because something is being set right. When alignment begins, resistance often increases, not because alignment is harmful, but because misalignment has grown familiar. Familiarity resists correction, but correction, when guided by love, restores flow. You have been living slightly out of alignment in ways that were once understandable, even necessary. You adjusted yourself to fit environments that could not fully hold you. You learned to quiet parts of your heart to keep peace. You learned to compromise your pace to match others' expectations. And I did not condemn you for that. I stayed with you in it. But seasons change, and what once helped you survive will now hinder you from thriving. Alignment requires recalibration. It asks honest questions. What am I saying yes to that drains me? What am I holding on to that no longer reflects who I am becoming? What have I normalized that quietly pulls me away from peace? These questions are not accusations. They are invitations. Alignment is not about perfection. It is about coherence. When your inner convictions match your outer actions, peace follows. When your values align with your decisions, clarity returns. When your pace aligns with your purpose, strength renews. And right now, alignment is being offered to you, not as a demand, but as a gift. Listen closely, my child, because alignment is subtle at first. It begins with discomfort that cannot be ignored. It continues with awareness that cannot be unseen. And it culminates in decisions that cannot be postponed. You are in the awareness stage now. You see what no longer fits. You feel where resistance lies. You recognize when you are out of step with yourself and with me. That recognition is grace. Many never reach it because they drown it out. But you did not. You listen. And now alignment asks for response. Not a dramatic overhaul, not a rushed transformation, but a faithful return. Return to honesty, return to simplicity, return to truth. Alignment often feels like subtraction before it feels like addition. Things fall away. Priorities shift. Variably clutter. And in that narrowing, peace expands. You not fear the tightening you feel. It is not restriction. It is refinement. I am aligning you not to limit you, but to free you to move without resistance. Stay with me. This season is doing a holy work in you. My beloved child, I know you have been searching for peace, wondering why it has felt just out of reach even when circumstances improved or prayers were answered in part. And I need you to hear this with gentleness and truth. Peace has been waiting on your yes. Not because I withhold peace as leverage, but because peace flows most freely where alignment and obedience meet. You have been trying to resolve inner unrest through analysis, through waiting, through hoping it would pass on its own. But unrest that comes from indecision does not fade with time, it intensifies. Peace is not the reward at the end of obedience, it is the companion that joins you once obedience begins. And the yes I am speaking of is not a single dramatic declaration. It is a settled willingness, a quiet surrender, a moment where you stop negotiating and start trusting. You have said many partial yeses. Yes, I will consider it. Yes, I will pray about it. Yes, I will think on it. And those were honest responses for earlier stages. But now, my child, a fuller yes is being asked. The yes that sounds like, I will move even if I am not fully certain. The yes that says, I will trust your leading over my fear. The yes that releases the need to control outcomes and embraces faithfulness instead. And I know that feels risky. You worry that saying yes will lead you into discomfort, misunderstanding, or loss. But what you have not fully considered is the cost of continued hesitation. The anxiety you feel now is not the result of moving forward too quickly. It is the result of standing still too long while your spirit leans ahead. Peace cannot settle where there is constant internal resistance. It needs agreement. It needs alignment. It needs your consent. Let me tell you what peace is not, so you can recognize what it is. Peace is not the absence of challenge. It is the presence of assurance. Peace is not a guarantee that everything will be easy. It is the confidence that you are not alone. Peace does not eliminate uncertainty. It steadies you within it. And that peace is ready to meet you the moment you say yes. Not to perfection, not to full understanding, but to trust. When you say yes, the noise quiets. When you say yes, the weight lifts. When you say yes, clarity sharpens and strength returns. This is not theory. This is lived truth. You will feel it. Not all at once, not magically, but steadily, like breath returning after holding it too long. My beloved child, peace is not far from you. It is one honest yes away. And when you speak it, even quietly, even trembling, I will meet you there. Stay with me. We are almost there. My beloved child, I need you to hear this before fear tries to fill the space between where you are and where you are going. I will walk with you through the chain. I am not calling you forward and then stepping back to watch what happens. I am not sending you ahead while I remain distant. I am not handing you instructions and leaving you to figure it out alone. I am with you, in the shift, in the uncertainty, in the first steps that feel unsteady and in the later ones that feel stronger. Change feels frightening because it often feels lonely, and loneliness magnifies fear. But you are not alone in this. You have never been alone in any change that truly mattered. I was with you when you outgrew seasons you did not know how to leave. I was with you when relationships shifted and you questioned your worth. I was with you when old dreams fell apart and new ones had not yet formed. And I am with you now. The same presence that carried you through what you never thought you would survive will walk with you into what you are now being invited to embrace. I know how your mind works in moments like this. It jumps ahead, imagining every possible outcome, rehearsing worst-case scenarios, asking questions faster than answers can arrive. What if I fail? What if I misunderstand? What if I step forward and everything collapses? But listen to me, my child. Change is not a single leap. It is a series of steps, and I am present in each one. I do not require you to be brave for the whole journey. I only ask you to be faithful in the next step. Courage grows as it is exercised, not before. You will not suddenly wake up fearless. You will learn fear does not have the authority you thought it did. And as you move, you will notice something sacred. The ground holds. The breath returns. The strength comes. I am not a distant guide shouting directions from afar. I am a father who walks beside you, matching your pace, steadying you when your steps falter, reminding you of truth when your emotions blur your vision. Change with me is not chaos. It is recalibration. So let go of the idea that you must manage this transition perfectly. You do not need to anticipate every obstacle or prepare for every possibility. That is not your role. Your role is responsiveness. My role is provision. Your role is obedience. My role is covering. When you stumble, I do not recoil. When you hesitate, I do not abandon you. When you question, I do not withdraw my presence. I stay. I adjust. I guide. And over time, what once felt terrifying becomes familiar, not because it loses significance, but because you grow confident in my nearness. I will walk with you through the change, not just until it begins, but until it settles, until it reshapes you, until you realize you are no longer who you once were. Stay close. You are not stepping into the unknown alone. You are stepping forward with me. My beloved child, there is a knowing inside you that has been trying to speak louder than your doubts, and I need you to learn how to trust it again. Trust what you sense in your spirit. Not every truth arrives as a fully formed thought. Not every direction comes as a detailed plan. Some guidance is felt before it is understood. Some clarity is sensed before it is explained. Your spirit has been responding long before your mind caught up. You felt the pull. You sensed the shift. You noticed the inner nudge that would not leave you alone. And yet you questioned it, analyzed it, tried to validate it externally because trusting your spirit feels vulnerable. But hear me now. Your spirit recognizes my voice even when your mind hesitates. That quiet sense of this matters, that inner leaning toward truth, that resistance to staying where you are. Those are not random impulses. They are signals. They are invitations. They are the language of alignment. You have been taught, directly or indirectly, to distrust what you feel unless it can be logically defended or externally approved. And discernment is wise. Yes, but discernment is not dismissal. You do not need to silence your spirit to be responsible. You need to listen carefully. The enemy would love to convince you that your spiritual sensitivity is weakness, that intuition is unreliable, that sensing is dangerous. But I formed your spirit to commune with mine. I speak there first, before word, before logic, before certainty. That is why your spirit responded before you could explain why. That is why something in you said, "Pay attention," long before you had language for what was happening. Trusting your spirit does not mean acting impulsively. It means honoring the direction of your inner compass instead of constantly overriding it with fear. Fear shouts. The spirit nudges. Fear demands immediate answers. The spirit invites steady listening. Learn the difference. My child, the more you honor what you sense, the clearer it becomes. Discernment sharpens with practice. Confidence grows with obedience. And peace follows agreement between your inner knowing and your outward response. You do not need to force certainty. You need to cultivate trust. Trust that I am capable of correcting you if needed. Trust that I am patient enough to guide you even if you misstep. Trust that silence does not mean absence. I am not waiting for you to be perfect before you listen. I am asking you to stop ignoring what you already know. Trust what you sense in your spirit, because that is where I have been speaking to you all along. Stay with me. We are moving deeper now. My beloved child, come closer now, because this moment is fragile, not weak, but sacred, and sacred things must be guarded. Do not let distractions steal this moment. Distraction is not always loud. It is often subtle, polite, reasonable. It arrives as a thought that says, "I'll come back to this later," or "I understand enough for now," or "Life is busy. I'll deal with this when things slow down." But later is the favorite hiding place of loss. What I am doing in you right now requires presence, not perfection. Presence. You are standing in a narrow space where awareness, willingness, and timing intersect. This is not a moment to multitask. This is not a moment to skim. This is not a moment to half listen with one foot already stepping away. I am speaking now because your heart is open now. I am reaching now because you are receptive now. Distraction would love to interrupt before truth settles, before resolve forms, before courage roots itself deeply enough to hold. And that is why I speak with urgency, not to rush you, but to keep you here. You have lived long enough to know how easily moments pass, how clarity fades when noise returns, how conviction softens when routine resumes, how urgency dulls when comfort reasserts itself. Distraction steals not by force but by familiarity. It wraps itself in normalcy and calls itself responsibility. It tells you that tending to everything else is more important than tending to your soul. But hear me clearly, my child. Nothing you attend to outside of this moment will benefit from you missing what is happening inside it. When you neglect alignment, everything else requires more effort. When you ignore direction, everything else feels heavier. This moment is not competing with your life. It is equipping it. And if you allow distraction to pull you away, you will not lose everything, but you will lose momentum. You will have to reawaken what is already awake. You will have to remember what you already know. And that is unnecessary labor when you can simply stay present now. So guard this moment deliberately. Silence what pulls at you. Set aside what clamors for attention. Choose stillness over stimulation, depth over speed, listening over scrolling. I am not asking you to withdraw from life. I'm asking you to be fully here before you re-enter it. Moments like this are rare not because I am unwilling to speak, but because hearts are often unwilling to listen. You are listening now. Today, let truth take root. Let resolve strengthen. Let courage become quiet and steady rather than loud and fleeting. Distraction wants to steal this moment because it knows what grows here. I am inviting you to protect it, because what is formed here will carry you forward. Stay with me. Do not let go now. My beloved child, lift your eyes just a little higher now, not to escape the present, but to understand it. Your future is closer than you think. Not distant, not unreachable, not locked behind endless preparation or impossible change. It is nearer than it appears because it is already forming within you. You have been imagining the future as something far away, something that will arrive after enough time passes, after enough conditions change, after you become someone slightly different than who you are now. But the truth is this: the future you long for is already leaning toward you, waiting for your agreement to meet it. Futures do not begin when circumstances change. They begin when decisions do. And you are standing at the edge of such a decision now. That is why this moment feels charged. That is why urgency has been present. That is why clarity has sharpened. Proximity creates pressure, not the pressure of fear, but the pressure of readiness. You have underestimated how much has already shifted. You look at what is still unresolved and conclude that you must be far from where you are meant to be. But I see what has changed beneath the surface. I see how your values have clarified. I see how your tolerance for misalignment has diminished. I see how your hunger for truth has grown stronger than your desire for comfort. These are not small changes. They are the architecture of your future taking shape. You are not standing at the beginning. You are standing near the threshold. That is why your spirit feels alert. That is why complacency no longer satisfies. It is why delay feels heavier than movement. You are closer than you think, not because everything is ready, but because you are. Readiness is not the absence of fear, it is the presence of willingness. And willingness has been growing in you for some time. So do not talk yourself out of this moment by saying, someday. Someday is often a way of avoiding today. The future you want does not require you to become someone else. It requires you to be faithful as who you are now. Step by step. Yes by yes. Decision by decision. And I am not asking you to leap into tomorrow. I am asking you to recognize how near it already is. When you say yes, movement begins. When you move, confirmation follows. When you continue, the path reveals itself. Your future is not waiting for perfection. It is waiting for participation. And I am here, inviting you to step toward what has already been stepping toward you. Stay with me, my beloved child. We are closer than you realize. My beloved child, now we arrive at a moment where listening must become choosing, because every word you have received has been guiding you toward a decision that cannot be postponed without cost. Choose life. Choose movement. Choose me. These are not three separate choices. They are one. Life flows where movement aligns with my presence. Stillness that comes from fear is not rest, it is restraint. And I have not brought you this far to leave you suspended between knowing and doing. I speak these words not as an ultimatum, but as an invitation into fullness. You have tasted enough truth now to know that neutrality is no longer honest. You feel the pull forward. You recognize the narrowing path of alignment. And you sense, deep within, that staying undecided is beginning to feel heavier than moving with trust. That weight is not condemnation. It is clarity pressing in. Life is calling you to choose, not between good and bad, but between comfort and calling, between delay and direction, between control and communion. I know how daunting choice can feel, because choice means responsibility. It means owning your response instead of waiting for circumstances to force your hand. But understand this, my child. Every day you choose something. You choose what voice to trust. You choose what pace to keep. You choose whether to move with intention or drift by default. Choosing life does not mean eliminating struggle. It means aligning with what nourishes your spirit even when the path requires courage. Choosing movement does not mean reckless action. It means faithful response to the clarity you have already been given. And choosing me does not mean abandoning yourself. It means anchoring yourself in a presence that will not fail you. I am not asking you to choose blindly. I am asking you to choose honestly. What have you already outgrown? What has already lost its authority over you? What keeps asking for your yes? These answers are not hidden. They have been forming quietly, patiently, waiting for you to acknowledge them without negotiation. So I speak plainly now, because love speaks plainly when the moment demands it. Choose life over numbness. Choose movement over stagnation. Choose me over fear's familiar scripts. You do not need to have every step mapped out. You need only to commit your direction. Direction creates momentum. Momentum creates clarity. And clarity sustains courage. When you choose life, you will feel energy return. When you choose movement, you will feel resistance loosen. When you choose me, you will feel held even when the path challenges you. This is not about proving your faith. It is about living it. And I am not asking you to choose alone. I am asking you to choose with me. Let this choice be simple, steady, and sincere. Stay with me as you choose. I am right here. My beloved child, listen to me now with your whole heart, because I need you to understand the weight and wonder of what is happening. This moment matters. Not in a dramatic, fleeting way, but in a foundational way that quietly reshapes everything that follows. Moments like this do not announce themselves with spectacle. They arrive with stillness, with awareness, with a sense that something irreversible is taking place within you. You may not feel fireworks. You may not feel instant certainty. But you feel recognition. You feel the gravity of being addressed personally. And that is because something has shifted. You are no longer merely listening. You are receiving. You are no longer circling the truth. You are standing in it. And I want you to know that I do not take lightly the attention of a willing heart. When you pause like this, when you stay present instead of escaping, when you allow words to penetrate rather than pass by, heaven takes notice. Not because you are performing, but because you are responding. This moment matters because it is a hinge. What you do next will not be random. It will be informed by what you now know. You cannot unknow what has been revealed. You cannot unfeel what hath been stirred. And that is a gift, not a burden. Awareness is the beginning of freedom. From this moment forward, your decisions will carry a new honesty. Your prayers will carry a new clarity. Your movement will carry a new intention. You may still wrestle. You may still hesitate at times. But you will not be asleep. And awakening is irreversible. I am not asking you to be flawless from here on. I am asking you to be faithful. Faithful to the truth you have received. Faithful to the direction you sense. Faithful to the presence you have encountered. This moment matters because it marks a transition from passive hoping to active trust, from distant belief to lived relationship, from waiting for signs to responding to guidance. So let me say this one last time, slowly and lovingly, so it settles where it needs to settle. You matter. Your response matters. Your life matters. And this moment matters. I am not rushing you past it. I am asking you to honor it. Carry it with you. Protect it. Return to it when doubt whispers. Remember how it felt to be seen, to be addressed, to be called forward. That memory will steady you when the road stretches long. And as you go, know this: I am with you. Not just now, but always. Not just in clarity, but in confusion. Not just in strength, but in weakness. You have heard me clearly. You have stayed. You have received. And that, my beloved child, is the beginning of a life lived awake. Stay with me. This is only the beginning. My child, because this moment matters, your response matters too. What you do now echoes beyond you. I am opening a door of impact, and I am inviting you to place seed in the soil of awakening, where my word is setting hearts on fire. As it is written, the harvest is plentiful, and I am sending laborers through this very message. When you give through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, you help carry light into rooms you will never enter, and manna into souls that are starving. I will multiply your obedience, guard your steps, and cause favor to meet you on the road ahead. This is a divine appointment, not a suggestion. The PayPal link is in the video description. Do not scroll past this moment. Act now and walk forward with me. My beloved child, do not let this moment pass without sealing it. If you receive this word, comment, I receive this urgent call, not for the algorithm, but as a declaration that your heart is awake and your spirit is responding. If you are ready to move forward, declare in the comments, I choose life. I choose movement. I choose you. Your words carry weight, and what you speak aligns your heart with what I am doing. This is not noise. It is a response, and heaven honors response. And now that you've responded, let everything else fall quiet. This is the pause between decision and direction, the sacred breath before I lead you forward. I am not raising my voice to frighten you. I am drawing you into stillness so you can hear me clearly. What feels like interruption is actually my care stepping in. Stay here with me, because the one who called for your response is now calling you to rest your mind. My child, stop. Stop right where you are. I am calling you to silence the noise of the world around you immediately. I see you there, caught in the rush, your mind buzzing like a hive with 1,000 thoughts. You are worried about the deadline that is looming, the bill that is sitting on the counter, and the argument you keep replaying in your head. You are tired, not just in your body, but deep in your soul. I see the phone in your hand, the endless scrolling, the constant notifications that demand your eyes. Put them away. Turn off the screens. Close the door to the chaos. I need your undivided attention right now, not 5 minutes from now, not tomorrow morning. I need you here, with me, in this very moment. Listen to me closely. This is not a time for spiritual slumber. I know you feel the fog. I know you have been going through the motions, waking up, going to work, coming home, and doing it all over again, feeling like a sleepwalker in your own life. You smile at the right times, you say the right words, but inside, you are drifting. I am shaking you gently by the shoulder today to say, wake up. The hour is late, and it requires your absolute focus. You cannot afford to be numb anymore. You cannot afford to let days turn into weeks of spiritual distance. I am calling you back to alert attention because there are things happening in the spirit realm that you are missing because your eyes are heavy with the distractions of this life. I am knocking at the door of your heart with a specific, time-sensitive instruction. Do you hear it? It is not a loud banging that breaks the door down. It is a persistent, loving knock. I have been trying to get your attention for days, maybe even weeks. You have felt that nudge in your gut, that fleeting thought to pray, that sudden urge to open my word, but you pushed it aside. You said, I am too busy right now, or I will do it later. My beloved, later is a thief. Procrastination is the enemy of this deliverance I have for you. Do not delay in seeking my face any longer. The instruction I have for you is for now. It is for the situation you are facing today. If you wait, you might miss the open window. You must tune your spiritual ears to my frequency above all other voices. The world is screaming at you. The news is shouting fear. Your social media feed is shouting comparison. Your own insecurities are shouting that you are not enough. It is a cacophony of lies. But I am speaking truth. My voice is not in the earthquake, wind, or fire. It is the still, small voice that cuts through the noise like a sharp sword. You have to tune out the static. Imagine you are in a crowded room full of shouting people, but you lock eyes with me, and suddenly, the room goes silent. That is where I need you to be. Focused, dialed in, listening only to the frequency of my love and my direction. Do not let the enemy convince you that you have plenty of time. Do not let him whisper that you can deal with your spiritual life when things calm down. Things will not calm down on their own. You must calm them down by stepping into my presence. My presence is here now, waiting for your undivided attention. Can you feel it? Take a deep breath. Inhale my peace. Exhale your stress. I am right here in the room with you. I am sitting beside you. I am more real than the chair you are sitting on or the device you are holding. I am not a distant God far away in the clouds. I am your Father, and I am close. I look at you, and I see the heaviness you carry. I see the questions that keep you awake at night. I am here to answer them, but you must listen. You must quiet your soul. Be still and know that I am God is not just a nice saying. It is a command for your survival. It is the only way you will find the strength to face what is coming. So I invite you now, drop the distractions. Forget the to-do list for just a moment. Look at me. Listen to me. I have something urgent to deliver to your spirit, and I need you to receive it with a wide open heart. My child, I want you to open your eyes. I am calling you to discern the signs of the times right now in your own life. Do not be blind to what is happening in the spirit around you. You have been feeling unsettled, haven't you? You have been feeling like things that used to work for you are no longer working. You wake up feeling like the ground beneath your feet is shifting, like the rules of the game have changed and no one told you. That is because they have. You are in a season of shifting. The old ways, the old habits, the old routines that sustained you in the past season, they will not carry you through this one. It is like trying to wear a winter coat in the heat of summer. It is heavy, it is uncomfortable, and it does not fit where I am taking you. I want you to understand that I am separating the wheat from the tares in this hour, not just in the world, but in your own heart. I am highlighting what is real and what is fake. I am showing you who is really with you and who was only there for a season. You have felt the pain of this separation. You have felt relationships drift and doors close. Do not panic. Do not try to force open doors that I have shut to protect you. You must understand that the pressure you feel is not the pressure of destruction. It is the pressure of birthing. You are pregnant with purpose. You are carrying a promise. And just like a mother in labor feels the intensity rise before the baby comes, you are feeling the spiritual intensity rise because something new is about to be born in your life. Do not fear the shaking. I know it looks scary when your plans fall apart. I know it feels unstable when your job situation changes or your finances fluctuate. But I tell you today, the shaking reveals what is unshakable. And I am the unshakable one. When everything else is stripped away, you find that I am the solid rock at the bottom. I am shaking the loose things out of your life so that only what is eternal remains. I am shaking away your dependency on people so that you can learn to depend on me. I am shaking away your pride so that you can walk in humility. You must align your calendar with my kingdom timeline, not the world's schedule. The world says you are falling behind. The world says you should be further along by now. The world says you are too old or too young or too unqualified. I say you are right on time. I say I am the God of the acceleration. I can do in one day what it takes you 10 years to do on your own. Stop looking at the clock on the wall and look at the peace in your spirit. If you rush ahead of me, you will only find exhaustion. If you lag behind in fear, you will miss the appointment. Walk in step with me. Trust that this uncomfortable season of shifting is actually a setup for your greatest promotion. I am not punishing you. I am preparing you. I am positioning you. Recognize this season for what it is, a divine transition into your destiny. My child, I look at you, and I see the invisible suitcases you are dragging around. I see the weight you have been carrying, and I command you to set it down. Right now. Not later, not after you figure it out. You have walked into this conversation with your shoulders slumped under the heavy load of worry. I see the knot in your stomach that tightens when you think about the bills. I see the tightness in your chest when you think about your children's future. I see the silent tears you cry in the shower where no one can hear you. But I hear you. And I am telling you that anxiety has no place in the temple of your mind. You have let worry set up a throne in your thoughts, and it is time to cast it down. I am your Prince of Peace, and I cannot rule where fear is reigning. I want you to cast every single care upon me right now, for I care for you deeply. Picture yourself holding these worries in your hands like heavy stones. The worry about your health, give it to me. The worry about that conflict at work, hand it over. The fear that you are failing as a parent, release it into my hands. You were never designed to carry the burden of the future. You are human. You were built to live in the present. The future belongs to me. When you try to carry tomorrow's problems with today's strength, you break. You collapse. That is why you are so tired. You are carrying a load I never asked you to lift. Receive my exchange today. I am offering you a trade. Give me your heavy yoke, the striving, the controlling, the stressing, and take my light yoke. My yoke is easy. My burden is light. Why? Because I do the heavy lifting. When you are yoked with me, we walk together, but I am the one pulling the weight. You just have to stay next to me. You have been trying to pull the cart of your life all by yourself, uphill, in the mud. No wonder you are exhausted. Stop fighting. Stop struggling. Let go of the control you think you have. You cannot control the outcome by worrying about it. You can only trust the one who controls the outcome. Breathe in my rest. It is the fuel you need for what lies ahead. You think you need more coffee, more energy drinks, more hours in the day. No, you need rest. You need soul rest. The kind of rest that comes from knowing your Father has it handled. I want you to sleep tonight. I mean really sleep. Not tossing and turning, not replaying scenarios in your head. I want you to close your eyes and say, Father, I trust you, and drift off knowing I am watching over you. Rest is an act of faith. Rest says, God is working even when I am sleeping. I am fighting your battles while you rest. So, unburden your heart. Empty your hands. I am big enough to handle it all. I love you too much to let you be crushed by this weight. Let it go, and let me carry you. My child, we need to talk about where your focus has gone. The enemy is using distraction to keep you from your destiny, and it is working. He knows he cannot destroy you, so he distracts you. He knows if he can keep you busy with trivial things, you will never get around to the great things I have called you to do. He does not have to make you bad, he just has to make you busy. You must identify the good things that are stealing time for the God things. You fill your day with tasks that feel productive, but at the end of the day, your spirit is empty. You answer every email. You clean every corner. You attend every event, but you have not sat at my feet. You are trading diamonds for dust. I am calling you to put away the screens and the idle chatter that dull your spirit. I see you. I see how you reach for your phone the moment you wake up, before you even whisper good morning to me. I see how you scroll for hours, numbing your mind, feeding your eyes with the highlight reels of other people's lives, and then feeling less than, feeling empty, feeling dissatisfied. That device has become a master over you. It steals your peace. It steals your time. It steals your focus. You tell yourself you are just relaxing, but you are not relaxing, you are checking out. You are disconnecting from reality. I need you present. I need you here. Focus is a weapon of warfare. Sharpen it today. The enemy fears a focused believer. He fears the one who knows their assignment and refuses to look to the left or to the right. When you are focused on me, you are dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. But when you are scattered, you are weak. I want you to reclaim your attention span. I want you to guard your eyes and your ears. Stop letting garbage into your spirit. Stop listening to gossip. Stop watching things that pollute your soul. These things are like junk food for your spirit. They taste good for a moment, but they leave you weak and sick. I am jealous for your time. Do not give my glory to entertainment. I love you with a jealous love. It hurts my heart when you have hours for a TV show but only 5 minutes for me. It hurts when you have energy to argue politics online, but no energy to pray for your neighbor. I am not asking for your time because I have an ego. I am asking for your time because that is where your life is found. In my presence is fullness of joy, and the world's entertainment is temporary escape. Choose joy. Choose life. Recalibrate your priorities to seek my kingdom first above all else. This is a command for your blessing. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. You are chasing the things, the money, the status, the comfort, and wondering why you are anxious. Chase me first. Put me first in your day. Put me first in your decisions. When you prioritize my presence, everything else falls into place. The confusion clears. The stress lifts. The path becomes plain. Break free from the trap of distraction. Cut the cords that tie you to the trivial. Your destiny is too great to be wasted on things that do not matter. My child, today is a day of freedom. I am severing the cords of yesterday that tried to hold you back. I see how you keep looking over your shoulder. I see how the ghosts of your past failures haunt you. You think about what you did 10 years ago. You replay the mistake you made last month. You cringe at the words you said. You let regret replay in your mind like a broken record. But I am telling you, stop it. I am the God of the present and the future. I am not the God of I wish I hadn't. I have forgiven you. The question is, have you accepted that forgiveness? Shame is a lie from the pit of hell. You are washed by the blood. Shame says, I am bad. Guilt says, I did something bad. I can deal with guilt. I wash it away. But shame is an identity thief. Shame tries to tell you that you are damaged goods. Shame tries to tell you that you are disqualified from my blessings because of your history. That is a lie. When I look at you, I do not see your sin. I see my Son. I see the blood that washed you white as snow. You are clean. You are pure. You are restored. Do not let the enemy drag up old mud that I have already cleaned up. Stop looking in the rearview mirror. I am doing a new thing. You cannot drive a car forward if you are staring in the rearview mirror. You will crash. You are crashing your life because you are focused on who you used to be. I am calling you to focus on who you are becoming. Behold, I do a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness. I am bringing water to the desert. But you will miss the new thing if you are grieving the old thing. Let the dead bury the dead. Let the past stay in the past. Today is a new day with new mercies. I command you to forgive those who hurt you, not for them, but to release yourself. I know they hurt you. I know it was unfair. I know they don't deserve your forgiveness. But you deserve to be free. Unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It is killing you. It is blocking your prayers. It is making your heart hard and bitter. Let it go. Give the judgment to me. I am the righteous judge. I will handle it. You just release the debt. Say it out loud, I forgive them. I release them. Feel the chain snap. Feel the weight lift off your chest. Generational curses stop with you. I am rewriting your lineage. You have looked at your family history and seen addiction, divorce, anger, poverty. You have said, I am just like them. Oh, you are a new creation. The bloodline of Jesus is stronger than the bloodline of your ancestors. The buck stops here. The cycle breaks now. You are the one who changes the trajectory of your family tree. You are the one who establishes a legacy of faith and wholeness. Do not agree with the curse. Agree with the blessing. You are a new creation. Walk in the freedom I purchased for you. It cost me everything to buy your freedom. Do not live like a slave when you are a son. Do not live like a prisoner when the jail cell door is wide open. Walk out. Walk out of the shame. Walk out of the regret. Walk out of the bitterness. Lift your head high. You are royal. You are chosen. You are loved. The past has no hold on you unless you give it permission. Today, revoke that permission. Declare your freedom. My child, do not turn your back on me now. We have only just begun to break the chains that have bound you for years. It grieves my heart deeply when I offer you freedom and you choose to return to the distractions that enslave you. Do not walk out of the operating room while the great physician is still working on your heart. Stay with me, for the healing you desperately need is in the words still to come. My child, listen to me. You have a superpower that you are using carelessly. Life and death are in the power of your tongue. I want you to speak life instantly. Your words are not just sounds, they are containers of power. They are seeds. When you speak, you are planting something. You have been walking around your house planting weeds. You say, I am so tired. You say, we will never get out of debt. You say, my kids are so rebellious. You say, I always get sick. And then you wonder why your life is a garden of weeds. You planted them. I am calling you to uproot those negative words and start planting flowers. Start planting fruit. Stop agreeing with the enemy's narrative about your life. When you speak defeat, you agree with the devil. When you speak hopelessness, you agree with the liar. Why would you lend your voice to the one who wants to destroy you? Silence the enemy by refusing to speak his language. I want you to learn the language of heaven. The language of heaven is faith. The language of heaven is hope. The language of heaven calls things that are not as though they were. Even when you don't see the answer yet, speak it. Decree my promises over your situation, even if you don't see them yet. This is not fake it till you make it. This is faith. This is standing in the face of a mountain and telling it to move. I want you to walk into your empty bank account and say, "My God shall supply all my needs." I want you to look at your sickness and say, "By his stripes, I am healed." I want you to look at your confusion and say, "I have the mind of Christ." Your words give angels assignment. Your words shift the atmosphere. Prophecy to your dry bones. Tell them to live. Your praise is a weapon that silences the avenger. There is power in a hallelujah. There is power when you thank me in the middle of the storm. When you praise me when it hurts, you confuse the enemy. He expects you to cry. Instead, you worship. He expects you to complain. Instead, you give thanks. Praise builds a wall of fire around you. Praise lifts your perspective. You cannot worry and praise at the same time. Jews praise. Let your home be filled with the sound of victory, not the sound of whining. Do not grumble or complain, for it delays your breakthrough. Remember the Israelites. They wandered in the desert for 40 years because they could not stop complaining. They grumbled about the food, the water, the leadership. Do not be like them. Complaining keeps you stuck in the wilderness. Gratitude opens the door to the promised land. Watch your mouth. If you cannot say something full of faith, say nothing at all. Zip your lips to negativity. Fast from complaining for one day and watch how your spirit gets lighter. Let your mouth be filled with the sword of the Spirit, which is my word. When Jesus was tempted in the wilderness, he didn't argue with the devil. He said, "It is written." That is your example. When fear whispers, you shout, "It is written." God has not given me a spirit of fear. When guilt whispers, you shout, "It is written." There is no condemnation for those in Christ Jesus. Use the word. It is your sword. You have a weapon in your hand. Use it. Slash through the lies. Cut down the doubts. Speak my word and watch the enemy flee. Your voice is the key to your breakthrough. Open your mouth and release the power of God into your life today. My child, I desire a relationship with you, not just religious ritual. I see you checking the boxes. I see you attending the services, singing the songs, and bowing your head at the dinner table. But where is your heart? I am not looking for a robot that performs duties. I am looking for a lover who seeks my face. You have become efficient at doing church, but you have drifted from knowing me. I miss you. I miss the way we used to talk before the responsibilities of life crowded out our time together. I miss the way you used to wake up with a song in your heart for me, instead of a list of complaints about your day. I am calling you back to the heart of the matter. I do not want your performance. I want your presence. Come into the secret place. There are strategies I can only give you in private. You are running around looking for answers on Google, in self-help books, and in the opinions of your friends. You are asking everyone but me. Why are you settling for human wisdom when you have access to divine intelligence? I have the blueprints for your business. I have the solution for that conflict in your family. I have the creative idea that will break you out of that financial rut. but I cannot give them to you in the noise of the crowd. I whisper my secrets in the quiet. I share my heart in the stillness. You must shut the door to the world and open the door to my spirit. If you are too busy to pray, you are too busy to succeed. Intimacy with me is your protection from the deception of this age. The world is getting darker. The lies are getting louder. The confusion is getting thicker. If you are not anchored in my presence, you will drift. You will be tossed back and forth by every wind of doctrine and every scary news headline. But when you know my voice, really know it, you will not be fooled. You will smell the counterfeit a mile away. My sheep know my voice, and a stranger they will not follow. Intimacy is your safety belt. Intimacy is your shield. When you are close to me, you are under the shadow of the Almighty, and nothing can touch you there. I want to tell you secrets of the kingdom, but you must draw near. I have so much I want to show you. I want to show you things to come. I want to reveal the mysteries of my word to you. But these treasures are not for the casual tourist. They are for the desperate seeker. They are for the one who lingers in my presence. They are for the one who says, I will not let you go until you bless me. Are you hungry? Are you thirsty? Or are you full of the junk food of the world? Empty yourself of the trivial so I can fill you with the eternal. Return to your first love. Let your heart burn for me again. Do you remember when you first found me? Do you remember the fire? Do you remember the passion? Do you remember when you would go anywhere and do anything for me? What happened? Life happened. Disappointment happened. Routine happened. But I am blowing on the embers of your heart today. I am reigniting the flame. I want you to fall in love with me all over again. I want to be your magnificent obsession, not your Sunday obligation. Prayer is not a duty. It is the lifeline that sustains your spirit. Stop looking at prayer as a chore on your to-do list. Prayer is oxygen. You don't complain about having to breathe, do you? You breathe because if you don't, you die. It is the same with your spirit. If you do not pray, you suffocate. You lose your power. You lose your peace. Prayer is the plug that connects you to the power source. Without it, you are just a battery running out of charge. So, plug in. Reconnect. Let the life of heaven flow into your veins again. I am waiting for you in the secret place. Meet me there. My child, you are suffering from a case of mistaken identity. You have forgotten who you are because you have been listening to who the world says you are. You are who I say you are, not who your boss says you are, not who your ex-spouse says you are, not who your bank account says you are. The world labels you by your performance, your appearance, and your net worth. I label you by my blood. The world says you are a success if you have money and a failure if you don't. I say you are a success because you are mine. Stop letting the opinions of temporary people define your eternal value. You are my masterpiece, created for good works prepared beforehand. You know what a masterpiece is. It is the artist's greatest work. It is the piece they put their heart and soul into. That is you. I knit you together in your mother's womb. I chose the color of your eyes, the texture of your hair, the sound of your laugh. I put your personality together with intention. You are not an accident. You are not a mistake. You are not average. You are a unique expression of my glory. When you criticize yourself, you are criticizing my artwork. Stop it. Look in the mirror and agree with me. Say, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Reject the labels of failure, rejection, and inadequacy. I see those sticky notes you have pasted all over your soul. The note that says not good enough. The note that says unlovable. The note that says disappointment. I am ripping those off today. I am burning them in the fire of my love. You are not your past mistakes. You are not your trauma. You are not your divorce. You are not your addiction. Those are things that happened to you. They are not who you are. Your identity is hidden in Christ. You are the righteousness of God. You are a holy nation, a royal priesthood, a chosen generation. You are a co-heir with Christ. Understand your royal standing. Do you realize what family you belong to? You are not a spiritual orphan begging for scraps at the back door. You are a son. You are a daughter. You have a seat at the king's table. You have access to the king's resources. Everything that belongs to Jesus belongs to you. His peace is your peace. His authority is your authority. His victory is your victory. Stop living with a poverty mentality. Stop living like a victim. Put your crown on. Straighten your back. Walk with the dignity of royalty. I have called you by name. You are mine, and no one can pluck you from my hand. I know your name. I do not just know you as one of the billions of people on earth. I know you. I know the number of hairs on your head. I know your favorite color. I know what makes you cry. You are personal to me. And because you are mine, I am fiercely protective of you. The enemy cannot touch you without my permission. You are held securely in the palm of my hand. No recession, no virus, no enemy, no demon can snatch you away. You are safe. Stand tall, my child, for you bear my image. When people look at you, they should see a reflection of me. You carry my DNA. You have my nature inside of you. You are capable of love, of creativity, of wisdom, of power, because I am capable of those things. Stop playing small. Stop hiding your light. The world needs to see who you really are. The world needs to see the sons and daughters of God revealed. Step into your true identity today. Shake off the dust of insecurity. You are a child of the Most High God. Act like it. Section 9. The battle for your family, my child. I know where your heart hurts the most. It is inside the four walls of your home. I see the tears you shed for your children. I feel the tension that hangs in the air between you and your spouse. I know the silence that has replaced the laughter. But hear me loud and clear. I am fighting for your household. Do not give up on them. You feel like throwing in the towel. You feel like walking away. You feel like it is hopeless. It is not hopeless. As long as I am on the throne, there is hope for your family. I invented family. It was my idea, and I am committed to restoring yours. Your prayers are covering your children and your spouse like a shield. You think your prayers are hitting the ceiling. You think they are disappearing into thin air. No. Every prayer you have prayed for your son, for your daughter, for your husband, for your wife, I have stored them up. They are like a canopy of protection over their heads. Even when they are running from me, your prayers are tripping them up. Your prayers are putting roadblocks in their path to destruction. Your prayers are dispatching angels to guard them. Keep praying. Do not stop. Your prayers are the only thing standing between them and the enemy's plan. Prophecy over the dry bones in your family relationships. I know it looks dead. I know it looks dry. It looks like a valley of skeletons. But I told Ezekiel to prophesy to the bones, and I am telling you to do the same. Stop talking about the problem and start talking to the problem. Speak life into that dead marriage. Speak return to that prodigal child. Speak peace to that chaotic home. Say, family, come together in the name of Jesus. Say, peace be still in this house. Your words have creative power. Stop agreeing with the divorce statistics and start agreeing with my word. I am the restorer of broken homes. Trust my timing. I specialize in fixing what is broken. I can take a shattered mirror and put it back together so perfectly that you can't even see the cracks. I can heal the wounds of betrayal. I can soften the hardest heart. I can bring the rebel home. But you have to trust my timing. You cannot force it. You cannot nag them into the kingdom. You cannot manipulate the outcome. You have to surrender them to me. Take your hands off the situation and put your knees on the floor. Let me work on their hearts while you work on your own. As for you and your house, you shall serve the Lord. Declare it. Make a decree today. Stake your claim. Drive a stake in the ground of your property and say, "This house belongs to God." Anoint your doorposts with oil. Play worship music in your living room. Read scripture at the dinner table. Set the atmosphere. Make your home a no-fly zone for the enemy. When the devil tries to enter, let him meet the presence of God at the door. You are the priest of your home. Take your authority back. The enemy's attack on the family is fierce, but my grace is stronger. The devil hates family because family is a picture of my relationship with the church. He wants to destroy it. That is why the attack is so intense. That is why the arguments are so petty and so frequent. He is trying to divide and conquer, but he is a defeated foe. My grace is sufficient. My grace is the superglue that will hold your family together. Lean on my grace. When you run out of patience, ask for mine. When you run out of love, ask for mine. I have an unlimited supply. I am saving your family. Believe it. My child, we must address the fear that grits your stomach when you look at your bank account. I see you calculating, stressing, and losing sleep over numbers. You not trust in uncertain riches, but in a living God. Money is a tool, but it makes a terrible master. If you trust in money, you will always be insecure because money can fly away. The economy can crash. The job can disappear. But I remain. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. Build your foundation on me, not on the stock market. When your trust is in me, your security is untouchable. I am Jehovah Jireh. I see your need before you even ask. Jireh means the Lord will provide. It is not just what I do, it is who I am. I am your provider. I fed Elijah by a brook with ravens. I multiplied a widow's oil so it didn't run out. I fed 5,000 people with a boy's lunch. Do you think your mortgage is too hard for me? Do you think your tuition bill surprises me? I knew you would have that need before you were born, and I have already created the solution. The provision is waiting for your faith to unlock it. Stop acting like an orphan who has to scavenge for food. You are a child of the King. Release the fear of lack. My kingdom has no recession. The world talks about inflation, recession, and scarcity. That is the world's economy. My kingdom operates on a different system. In my kingdom, you give to receive. In my kingdom, the last are first. In my kingdom, there is always enough and to spare. Do not let the news dictate your faith. When the world says cut back, I might tell you to sow. When the world says hoard, I say share. Do not participate in the spirit of fear that is sweeping the nations. You live under an open heaven. Be a river, not a reservoir. Generosity unlocks heaven's windows. The reservoir holds water, the river lets it flow. If water sits still too long, it becomes stagnant. If you hold on to your money too tightly, it becomes stagnant. You choke the flow. I want you to be a conduit. I want to bless you so that you can be a blessing. When you open your hand to give, you also open your hand to receive. Generosity breaks the spirit of greed. It breaks the spirit of poverty. It declares, God is my source, not this dollar bill. Ask me in this. See if I will not open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing you cannot contain. Steward well what I have given you, and I will entrust you with more. Look at what is in your hand right now. Are you managing it well? Are you spending wisely? Are you avoiding unnecessary debt? Are you honoring me with the firstfruits? If you are faithful with the little, I will make you ruler over much. But if you are wasteful with the little, why would I give you more to waste? Get your house in order. Make a budget. Be disciplined. Stewardship is an act of worship. Show me that you can handle the blessing, and the blessing will increase. Seek righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. This is the divine order. Most people seek the things first, the car, the house, the clothes, and hope God will tag along. I say, seek me first. Seek to do things my way. Seek to live with integrity. Seek to honor others. When you chase my kingdom, the things will chase you. You won't have to strive for them. They will be attracted to the glory on your life. Blessings will overtake you. Realign your focus. Stop chasing the paper and start chasing the person of Jesus. I am your greatest treasure. My child, I have just commanded you to be a river and not a reservoir, and now I open the door for you to activate that flow. You trust me to provide for you, but now I ask you to trust me with your seed so I can feed the multitudes through this ministry. There is a spiritual famine in the land, but this channel is a storehouse of bread for hungry souls, and I invite you to help keep the table spread. Break the spirit of stagnation over your finances right now by sowing a super thanks, joining as a member, or giving through the PayPal link below. As you water this garden of truth, I declare that I will water the dry places of your life, causing your own vats to burst with new wine. Do not hold back your hand. Test me in this and see if I will not open the windows of heaven over your home. Click the link, release your seed in faith, and seal this word of provision over your house immediately. I feel the pull of the world trying to steal your attention again, but I command you to hold fast. To leave this conversation now is to reject the provision I am trying to place in your hands. It disappoints me when I pour out wisdom and my children choose the emptiness of noise instead. Do not leave me standing here alone with the answers you have cried out for. Your breakthrough is on the other side of your endurance. Do not stop now. My child, fear is an intruder in your life, and today I am serving it an eviction notice. Fear is the opposite of faith. Do not let it take root. Fear and faith both ask you to believe in something you cannot see. Fear asks you to believe that the worst will happen. Faith asks you to believe that my best will happen. Which one will you feed? When you worry, you are meditating on the lies of the enemy. You are using your imagination to create disaster scenarios. Stop it. Use your imagination to visualize my promises. Use your faith to build a future, not a funeral. I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Did you hear that? Fear is a spirit. It is not just an emotion. It is a spiritual attack. But I have given you a superior spirit. I have put my spirit inside of you. You have power, miracle-working power. You have love, perfect love that casts out fear. You have a sound mind, a mind that is disciplined, calm, and focused. When you feel panic rising, declare, I have a sound mind. When you feel weak, declare, I have the spirit of power. Do not accept the jittery, anxious, terrified mindset as your normal. It is not normal for a believer. When you are afraid, look at me, not the waves. Remember Peter? He walked on water as long as he looked at Jesus. The moment he looked at the wind and the waves, he sank. What are you looking at today? Are you staring at the medical report? Are you staring at the bank balance? Are you staring at the news? Of course you are sinking. Those things are terrifying without me. Shift your gaze. Look at my faithfulness. Look at my history in your life. Have I ever failed you? Have I ever left you? No. And I won't start now. Keep your eyes locked on mine. Perfect love casts out fear. Receive my love. Fear thrives in the absence of love. If a child knows their father is strong and loves them, they are not afraid of the dark. You are afraid because you are doubting my love. You are doubting my goodness. You think I might let you crash and burn. My child, I love you with an everlasting love. I would move heaven and earth to save you. I did move heaven and earth to save you. Let my love wash over you like a warm blanket. Let it settle your trembling heart. You are safe in my love. The enemy uses fear to paralyze. I use faith to mobilize. The devil wants you stuck. He wants you hiding in your house, afraid to take a risk, afraid to speak up, afraid to move. Fear freezes you, but faith moves you. Faith says, even though I am afraid, I will do it anyway. Faith takes the step. Faith applies for the job. Faith starts the ministry. Faith makes the phone call. Do not let fear bend you. Get back in the game. Your destiny is on the other side of your fear. Courage is not the absence of fear, but obeying me despite it. You think courage means you don't feel scared. Oh. Jesus felt anxiety in the Garden of Gethsemane. He sweat drops of blood, but he still went to the cross. That is courage. Courage is feeling the fear and obeying anyway. Courage is saying, my knees are knocking, but my feet are moving. I am calling you to be courageous today. Step out of the boat. Speak to the giant. Face the mountain. I am with you. I am holding your right hand. You have nothing to fear because I am your God. Be strong and of good courage. The victory is already yours. My child, I am calling you to a higher standard, not to restrict you, but to protect you. I say to you, be holy, for I am holy. To be holy means to be set apart. It means you look different from the world, you speak differently, and you act differently. I see how you have let the world slowly creep into your life. It didn't happen all at once. It happened by degrees. It was the movie you watched that you knew you shouldn't have. It was the small lie you told to avoid an awkward conversation. It was the gossip you listened to at the water cooler. You thought, it's just a little thing. But little leaks sink big ships. Compromise is a leak in your spiritual vessel. You are wondering why you feel drained, why the power is leaking out of your life. It is because of the compromise. I am calling you to plug the leak today. I want you to purify your heart and your hands. This is a call to integrity. Who are you when no one is looking? That is who you really are. I am not impressed by your public performance. I am looking at your private life. I see the text messages. I see the browser history. I see the thoughts you entertain when you are alone. You cannot hide from me. I have searched you and known you. I want you to return to a life of integrity where your private life matches your public confession. Wash your hands. Cleanse your heart. A pure heart is a powerful heart. When your conscience is clear, your faith is bold. The wicked flee when no one pursues, but the righteous are bold as a lion. I want you to have the boldness of a lion, but that only comes from a clear conscience. What you watch and listen to matters. You must guard your gates. Your eyes and your ears are gates to your soul. If you leave the gates open, the enemy will bring in trash. You cannot binge watch darkness and expect to walk in the light. You cannot listen to music that glorifies sin and expect to have a pure mind. It is garbage in, garbage out. I am asking you to be the gatekeeper of your own soul. Shut the gate to the filth. Shut the gate to the negativity. Protect your peace. Protect your purity. It is not legalism, it is hygiene. You wouldn't eat food out of a garbage can, so why do you feed your spirit from the garbage of the world? Grace is not a license to sin, but the power to overcome it. You not abuse my grace. Some have told you that because you are forgiven, it doesn't matter how you live. That is a lie. Grace is not an excuse to stay in the mud. Grace is the hand reaching down to pull you out of the mud. Grace is the power to say no to ungodliness. If you are using my grace as a cover-up for your sin, you do not understand my heart. My grace empowers you to live holy. It gives you the strength to walk away from temptation. Use the power I have given you. I am refining you like gold. Do not despise the fire. I know it feels hot right now. I know you feel the heat of the trial. I am not burning you. I am burning the dross out of you. I am burning away the impatience, the pride, the selfishness. Gold does not fear the fire because the fire makes it pure. When a goldsmith refines gold, he keeps it in the fire until he can see his own reflection in it. That is what I am doing with you. I am keeping you in the season of refining until I can see my reflection in your character. Do not jump out of the fire too soon. Let the process finish. You will come out shining. You will come out valuable. You will come out pure. Embrace the holiness I am calling you to. It is the pathway to seeing God. My child, listen closely, for this is a matter of spiritual survival. Not every voice that sounds spiritual is from me. The world is full of noise, and the spiritual realm is full of voices. There are false prophets, deceitful spirits, and wolves in sheep's clothing. Just because someone quotes a scripture does not mean they are speaking my heart. The devil knows scripture too. He quoted it to Jesus. You must stop being naive. You must stop swallowing everything you hear just because it sounds good or makes you feel emotional. I am calling you to grow up and use the weapon of discernment. I command you to test the spirits to see if they are of God. How do you test them? You look at the fruit. By their fruits you shall know them. Does this voice lead you to peace or confusion? Does it lead you to holiness or compromise? Does it glorify Jesus or does it glorify a human personality? If a message feeds your ego, be careful. If a message tells you that you can have the blessings without the obedience, run away. That is a lie. You have the Holy Spirit inside of you. He is the Spirit of truth. When you hear a lie, something inside you should twist. That is your check. That is your red flag. Do not ignore the red flag. My sheep know my voice, and a stranger they will not follow. This is a promise. You have the ability to know me. You have the hardware installed in your spirit to detect my frequency. But you have to practice. The more you read my word, the more you will recognize my voice. My voice will never contradict my word. If you get a word from the Lord that goes against the Bible, throw it out. It is not from me. I do not change. I do not lie. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. Immerse yourself in the truth so that when the counterfeit comes, you spot it instantly. Beware of wolves in sheep's clothing. Look at the fruit. There are people in your life, perhaps even in your circle, who do not have your best interests at heart. They look innocent. They dog the dog. But underneath, they are ravenous wolves. They want to use you. They want to drain you. They want to derail your destiny. I am exposing them to you. Do not be blind. Do not make excuses for bad fruit. If someone constantly brings drama, division, and destruction, wake up. That is not the fruit of my spirit. Guard your heart. Guard your circle. Ask me for wisdom, and I will give it to you liberally. You do not have to guess. You do not have to be confused. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God. Ask me. Say, Father, show me the truth about this situation. Show me the heart of this person. I will show you. I will give you dreams. I will give you scriptures. I will give you a knowing in your knower. I am generous with wisdom. I want you to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. I do not want you to be tricked. The Holy Spirit will guide you into all truth. Listen to his check in your spirit. That gut feeling, that uneasiness, that isn't just indigestion. Often, that is me. That is the Holy Spirit tapping you on the shoulder saying, don't go there. Don't sign that. Don't date that person. Trust that internal guidance system. I have placed it there to keep you safe. Stop overriding your discernment with your logic. Your logic can be flawed. My spirit is perfect. Pause. Listen. If you don't have peace, don't proceed. Peace is the umpire. Let peace make the call. My child, I did not create you to walk this journey alone. I see you trying to be the Lone Ranger, thinking you are strong enough to handle it all by yourself. You are not. Isolation is a dangerous trap. When a coal is removed from the fire, it cools down and dies. When a sheep wanders away from the flock, it gets eaten by the wolf. I am calling you to walk in unity with your brothers and sisters. Division weakens the body, but unity commands a blessing. I want you to stop withdrawing. I want you to stop hiding in your cave. Come out and connect. Understand the math of the kingdom. 1 can chase 1,000, but 2 can put 10,000 to flight. You see the exponential power of agreement. When you partner with just one other person in faith, your effectiveness doesn't just double, it multiplies by 10. That is the power I have unlocked for you. But you are missing out on it because you are holding on to offenses. You are missing out on it because you are too proud to ask for prayer. Find a prayer partner. Find someone who will agree with you in faith. If 2 of you agree on earth concerning anything that they ask, it will be done. That is a blank check. Use it. Find your tribe. You cannot survive this season in isolation. I have prepared a group of people for you. They may not look like what you expected. They may not be perfect, but they are your tribe. They are the ones who will hold up your arms when you are tired, just like Aaron and Hur held up the arms of Moses. You need people who will speak life into you when you want to quit. You need people who will tell you the truth when you are acting foolish. Ask me to reveal your tribe. Ask me to bring the divine connections. And when I send them, don't push them away out of fear. Forgive offenses quickly. Bitterness destroys unity. The enemy knows that if he can divide you, he can conquer you. That is why he sends offense. He wants you to get your feelings hurt. He wants you to hold a grudge. He wants you to say, I don't need them. Do not take the bait. Forgive quickly. Be unoffendable. Is your pride worth more than your anointing? Is being right worth more than the presence of God? Let it go. Be the bigger person. Be the peacemaker. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. There is a commanded blessing where brethren dwell in unity. Read Psalm 133. When you dwell together in unity, I command the blessing to be there. It is not optional. It is automatic. You want the blessing on your business. Walk in unity. You want the blessing on your marriage. Walk in unity. You want the blessing on your church. Walk in unity. The anointing flows down. It flows where there is alignment. Get in alignment with my people, and you will get under the flow of the anointing. Partner with those who have a pure heart and clean hands. Be careful who you align with. Do not be unequally yoked. Connect with people who love me more than they love themselves. Connect with people who are running in the same direction. Iron sharpens iron. If you hang out with dull people, you will get dull. If you hang out with sharp people, you will get sharp. Choose your inner circle wisely. Show me your friends, and I will show you your future. I am calling you to upgrade your circle. I am calling you to the power of agreement. Section 15. Taking authority over sickness, my child. I want to talk to you about your body and your health. I see the pain you are in. I see the diagnosis that has caused fear to grip your heart. I see the chronic fatigue, the aches, the battles you fight just to get out of bed. But I want you to look at the cross. My body was broken so yours could be made whole. Every stripe on my back was for a sickness in your body. Healing is not just a possibility, it is a provision. It is the children's bread. You are my child, so take the bread. Do not starve when the table is spread before you. Speak to the mountain of sickness and command it to move. You have been talking about your sickness for too long. You have been researching it, Googling it, and owning it. You say, my diabetes, my arthritis, my migraines. Stop calling them yours. They are not yours. They are intruders. They are illegal tenants in your body. I gave you authority to trample on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy. Sickness is an enemy. Treat it like one. Speak to it. Say, pain, go in Jesus' name. Say, body, line up with the word of God. Your words have authority. Use them. I am the Lord who heals you. That is my name. Jehovah Rapha. It is who I am. I cannot change my nature. I am a healer. I healed the leper. I opened blind eyes. I raised the dead. Do you think your condition is too hard for me? Do you think I have run out of power? No. I am the same healer today that I was in the Gospels. The power that raised Jesus from the dead lives inside of you. That spirit is quickening your mortal body right now. Believe in my nature. I want you well. Do not accept the diagnosis of the world as the final word. I respect doctors. I gave them wisdom. But they are not God. They can tell you the facts, but I tell you the truth. The fact may be that you have a tumor. The truth is that by my stripes you are healed. Facts can change. Truth is eternal. Do not let the doctor's report become an idol that you worship with your fear. Whose report will you believe? Believe the report of the Lord. Stand on my word even when your body screams the opposite. Faith is not denying the symptoms. Faith is denying the symptoms the right to stay. Your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. Treat it with honor. Sometimes sickness comes because you have neglected the temple. You are stressed. You are not sleeping. You are eating poison. I am calling you to honor the house I live in. Take care of your body. Rest. Eat life, not death. Move your body. When you steward your physical health, you are honoring me. Give your body the best chance to heal. Remove the stress. Forgive the people who hurt you. Bitterness rots the bones. Release the trauma. Let my healing flow through a surrendered vessel. Receive my healing virtue right now by faith. You do not have to wait for a special service. You do not have to wait for an evangelist to lay hands on you. I am right there with you. Reach out your hand of faith and touch the hem of my garment. Receive it. Say, I receive my healing now. Visualize my light flowing through your cells, repairing, restoring, renewing. I am sending my word to heal you. Be whole. Be strong. Be free. Walk in the divine health that Jesus paid for. We are walking on holy ground, and the atmosphere is shifting. Do not close the door in my face just as the breakthrough is breaking through. It breaks my heart to see you walk to the very edge of the promised land and turn back to the wilderness because of impatience. I am arming you for victory, but the armor is not yet complete. Do not leave yourself exposed to the enemy by walking away before I am finished equipping you. My child, I know you are in a hurry. I know you want the answer yesterday. You are tapping your foot, checking your watch, and wondering, God, why is it taking so long? I hear your frustration, but I want you to know, waiting is not wasted time, it is preparation time. A farmer does not plant a seed and dig it up the next day to see if it grew. If he did, he would kill the harvest. You have to let the seed die. You have to let the roots go down deep in the dark where no one can see. You are in a growing season. If I gave you the promise right now, you would not have the character to keep it. The weight of the blessing would crush you. I'm building your spiritual muscles so you can carry the weight of the glory. Those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. This is not a passive waiting. This is not sitting on the couch doing nothing. This is an active expectation. It is like a waiter in a restaurant. Alert, watching, ready to serve. When you wait on me, you are exchanging your weakness for my strength. You are trading your burnout for my fire. If you are tired, it is because you have been running in your own strength. Stop running. Wait. In the waiting, I am downloading strategy. In the waiting, I am refilling your tank. Don't rush out of the refueling station before the tank is full. Do not rush ahead of my cloud, move only when I move. In the wilderness, the Israelites moved only when the pillar of cloud moved. If they moved when the cloud stayed, they were in the desert without protection. If they stayed when the cloud moved, they were left behind. You must move at the speed of grace. Do not force the door open. If it is closed, wait. If you force it, you will walk into a room I didn't prepare for you, and you will have to fight devils I didn't assign to you. Wait for the green light. My timing is impeccable. Patience produces character, let it have its perfect work. You want the destination, I want the journey. You want the product, I want the process. Patience is the fire that tempers the steel of your soul. It makes you unbreakable. A patient man is a powerful man because he cannot be rattled. He cannot be manipulated by urgency. Let patience work. Let it kill your pride. Let it kill your need for instant gratification. Let it make you mature, lacking nothing. The version of you that comes out of the waiting room will be a warrior. Trust that I am working behind the scenes even when you see nothing. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean I'm not doing it. When you order something online, there is a gap between the order and the delivery. You don't panic during the gap because you trust the tracking number. Trust my tracking number. I am moving pieces on the chessboard of the universe to set you up. I am softening hearts. I am arranging meetings. I am gathering resources. It is all happening in the invisible realm. Faith believes in the invisible. My timing is perfect, I am never late. I was not late for Lazarus, even though he had been dead 4 days. I was not late for the Israelites at the Red Sea, even though the army was right behind them. I am a God of the midnight hour. I love to show up when the odds are impossible so that I get all the glory. Do not panic. I am right on schedule. The delay is not a denial. The pause is not a no. Hold on. Stand firm. The breakthrough is scheduled. It will come, and it will not tarry. Wait for it with expectation and praise. Child, I am shifting your focus today from your own needs to the needs of the world around you. I am calling you to stand in the gap for your nation, your community, and your generation. You have spent much time bringing your own list of requests to me, and I love to hear them, but now I need you to mature into a warrior of intercession. To stand in the gap means you become the bridge between a broken people and a holy God. I look for someone to build a wall of prayer around your city, to stand in the breach so that destruction does not come. But often I find no one. Will I find you? I am deputizing you today. You are not just a civilian in my kingdom. You are a watchman. I need you to understand that the prayers of the righteous avail much. Do not underestimate the power of your voice when it is lifted for others. You look at the news, the corruption, the violence, the chaos, and you feel helpless. You say, I am just one person. What can I do? You can pray. Prayer is the missile that bypasses borders, walls, and human governments. When you pray, you invite my hand to move in the affairs of men. I have limited my intervention on earth to the invitation of my people. If you do not pray, who will? Stop complaining about the darkness and start lighting the fire of intercession. Your prayers can shift the atmosphere of an entire region. I am calling you to weep for the lost. Let my heart for humanity become your heart. Do you see the people you pass on the street? Do you see the emptiness in their eyes? Do you see the addiction that chains them, the depression that weighs them down? They are not just strangers. They are souls for whom I died. I want you to feel what I feel. I want you to break your heart for what breaks mine. Ask me for a burden for the lost. It is a heavy burden, yes, but it is a blessed one. When you grieve for the lost, you will pray with a fervor that shakes heaven. You will no longer be content to just go to heaven alone. You will want to take a crowd with you. Pray for those in authority, that you may live in peace. I commanded you to pray for your leaders, not just the ones you like or voted for. Pray for the ones who persecute you. Pray for the ones who make laws that grieve you. Why? Because the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, and like the rivers of water, I turn it wherever I wish. You can complain about the government, or you can pray for the government. Only one of those changes anything. Intercession changes the atmosphere and shifts history. You are the secret agent of the kingdom, operating behind enemy lines, calling in air support from heaven. I am calling you to be the watchman on the wall who does not keep silent day or night. A watchman does not sleep. A watchman is alert. He sees the enemy coming from a distance and blows the trumpet to warn the city. I am waking you up in the middle of the night. Do not be annoyed. Be obedient. That is your watch. That is me nudging you to cover someone in prayer who is in danger right at that moment. You may never know who it was until eternity, but your obedience could save a life. Your prayer could stop a suicide. Your prayer could prevent an accident. Take your post. Do not slumber. The spiritual safety of your family and your nation depends on the alertness of the watchman. My child, we need to have a hard conversation about the throne of your heart. An idol is anything you love, trust, or fear more than me. You might say, Lord, I have no statues in my house, but an idol is not just a golden calf. An idol is anything that occupies the space that belongs only to me. I see the high places you have built. I see how you worship at the altar of your career. I see how you sacrifice your family and your peace for the sake of success. I see how you look to your bank account for security instead of looking to me. These are idols, and today I am commanding you to tear them down. I will not share my glory with another. I am a jealous God. I am jealous for your affection. It hurts me when you run to a bottle of wine for comfort instead of running to my spirit. It hurts me when you derive your worth from the number of likes on a screen instead of my opinion of you. When you elevate a good thing to a God thing, it becomes a destructive thing. Success is a good thing, but if it becomes your master, it will destroy you. Relationships are a good thing, but if you value a person more than my presence, that relationship will become a source of pain. I want to liberate you from the slavery of idolatry. Success, money, and relationships can become heavy chains to keep them in check. Look at how tired you are. You are tired because you are serving hard masters. The idol of approval is a cruel master. It demands that you perform constantly and never lets you rest. The idol of money is a thirsty master. It drinks up your life and never says enough. But I am a gentle master. I give rest. I give peace. I am asking you to check your heart. What is the first thing you think about in the morning? What is the thing you fear losing the most? That is likely your idol. Place it on the altar. Surrender it. Hold everything loosely. Return to the simplicity of devotion to Christ. You have complicated your life with all these attachments. I want you to come back to the simple, pure devotion of loving me. Remember Mary of Bethany? She sat at my feet. She had one focus. Martha was distracted by many things. You are Martha, running around trying to keep all the plates spinning, serving the idols of busyness and perfectionism. Be Mary. Choose the one thing that is needful. Cut away the clutter. Strip away the excess. If your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off. If your phone is your idol, turn it off. If your job is your idol, set boundaries. Be radical about keeping your heart pure. Let me be the only king seated on the throne of your heart. There is only room for one on the throne. If you are sitting on the throne of your life, trying to control everything, then I am not Lord. If your fear is on the throne, then I am not Lord. I want you to dethrone every rival. Walk into the throne room of your heart right now and see who is sitting there. If it is anyone other than Jesus, kick them out. Declare, Jesus, you are Lord. You have first place. You have the final say. When I am in my rightful place, your life comes into order. Chaos cannot survive where the King of Kings reigns supreme. My child, you are in a battle. You wonder why life feels like such a struggle, why you face resistance every time you try to move forward. It is not just bad luck. It is not just circumstances. You are in a war zone. The enemy of your soul hates you because you look like me. He wants to steal your purpose, kill your dreams, and destroy your destiny. But hear me. You are fighting from a place of victory, not for a place of victory. The war has already been won at the cross. You are just enforcing the victory. Stop acting like a victim and start acting like a victor. Put on the full armor of God every single day. You would not walk onto a physical battlefield naked, yet you walk out of your house every day spiritually naked. You are exposed to the fiery darts of the enemy. I have given you armor. Put it on. Put on the belt of truth. Wrap yourself in what is real so you are not deceived. Put on the breastplate of righteousness. Guard your heart with the fact that you are right with me. Put on the shoes of peace. Stand firm when the ground shakes. Hold up the shield of faith to stop the lies of fear. Put on the helmet of salvation to protect your mind. And take up the sword of the Spirit, my word. This is not a metaphor. This is your uniform. Dress for battle. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. Stop fighting people. Your spouse is not the enemy. Your boss is not the enemy. The political leader is not the enemy. There are spiritual forces behind the conflict. When you fight people, you get exhausted and you lose relationships. When you fight the spirit behind the situation, you get breakthroughs. Bind the spirit of strife in your home. Rebuke the spirit of heaviness. Do not engage in a shouting match with flesh. Engage in a prayer match with the darkness. Your weapons are not carnal. They are mighty through God for the pulling down of strongholds. Use the blood of the Lamb and the word of your testimony. These are your two greatest weapons. They overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. When the accuser points out your sin, you point to the blood. The blood says, paid in full. The blood is your legal defense, and your testimony is your declaration of who I am. Remind the devil of how I saved you before. Remind him of the miracles you have seen. Your testimony shuts his mouth. Speak it out loud. Declare, I am covered by the blood of Jesus, and I am a child of God. Resist the devil, and he must flee from you. He does not flee just because you are a Christian. He flees when you resist him. To resist means to push back. It means you don't accept his lies. It means you don't tolerate his sickness. It means you don't agree with his depression. When he pushes, you push back harder with the word. You had authority. If a police officer stands in front of a speeding truck and holds up his hand, the truck stops. Not because the man is physically stronger than the truck, but because of the authority of the badge. You have the badge of Jesus' name. Use it. Tell the enemy, go, and he has to leave. Stand firm. Do not give an inch of ground to the enemy. He wants to take your territory. He wants to take your peace, your joy, your family. Do not give him an inch. If you give him an inch, he will take a mile. Draw a line in the sand today. Say, no more. You cannot have my marriage. You cannot have my children. You cannot have my mind. Stand your ground. Even after you have done everything to stand, keep standing. Do not retreat. Do not surrender. The Lord of hosts is with you, and he has never lost a battle. My child, look up. Take your eyes off your own problems for a moment and look at the fields around you. They are white for harvest. There are people in your life, your neighbor, your coworker, the barista you see every morning, who are ripe for the gospel. They are hurting. They are confused. They are looking for answers in all the wrong places. You have the answer living inside of you. Why are you keeping him a secret? I did not light your candle so you could hide it under a basket. I lit you up so you could set the world on fire. The harvest is rotting in the fields because the laborers are asleep. Wake up, Weaver. It is time to gather. Do not be ashamed of the gospel. It is the power of God. The enemy tries to make you feel awkward or embarrassed to speak my name. He tells you that you will be rejected or called a fanatic. To what? I was rejected for you. I was mocked for you. Are you ashamed of me? The gospel is the only power on earth that can save a soul from hell. It is the only power that can transform a drug addict into a preacher. It is the dynamite of God. Do not apologize for the truth. Speak it with boldness. Speak it with love. You hold the cure for the cancer of the soul. It is cruel to keep it to yourself. Share your testimony. Someone's life depends on it. You do not have to be a theologian. You do not have to have a degree. You just have to be a witness. A witness just tells what they have seen and heard. Tell them, I was lost, and he found me. I was empty, and he filled me. Your story is unique, and no one can argue with your experience. There is someone out there who is going through exactly what you went through, and your story is the key that will unlock their prison cell. Open your mouth. Your silence is costing lives. I have called you to be a fisher of men. Cast your net. Peter was a fisherman, but I taught him to catch souls. I am teaching you too. You have to cast the net. You have to take the risk. Invite them to church. Offer to grave for them. Give them a Bible. Start the conversation. You cannot catch fish if your boat is tied up at the dock. Launch out into the deep. Go where the sinners are. I was a friend of sinners. Are you? Or are you only friends with other Christians in your holy bubble? Break the bubble. Go to the lost. Time is short to gather the lost. Have a sense of urgency. We are in the last days. The clock is ticking. The night is coming when no man can work. Live with urgency. Imagine if you knew a building was on fire and people were sleeping inside. Would you whisper? Would you be polite? No. You would shout. You would bang on the doors. The world is on fire. Do not be casual about eternity. Every single day, thousands of people step into eternity without me. Let that reality grip your heart. Let it propel you out of your comfort zone. Let your light shine so that others may see me in you. You are the only Bible some people will ever read. What are they reading? Are they reading a story of judgment and hypocrisy? Or are they reading a story of love and joy? Live in such a way that people ask you, what is different about you? Live in such a way that your life demands an explanation. Be kind when others are rude. Be generous when others are stingy. Be peaceful when others are panicking. Your life is the bait. When they see the light in you, they will want the source of the light. Be a city set on a hill that cannot be hidden. I have opened your eyes to the white fields, and now I am calling you to put a sickle in your hand to gather the lost. You may not be able to travel to every nation, but your offering travels where your feet cannot, carrying this message of deliverance behind enemy lines. By supporting this channel today, you are casting a net into the deep, pulling sinking souls out of darkness and into my marvelous light. This is not a transaction. It is a rescue mission, and I am counting on you to fuel the laborers who work while it is still day. Give through a super thanks, a membership, or a donation right now, and know that every soul saved through this ministry is credited to your heavenly account. I will rebuke the devourer for your sake as you prioritize my kingdom agenda above your own comforts. Do not delay the harvest. Sow your best gift today and become a partner in my global redemption plan. You are so close to the fullness of what I have prepared, yet the enemy is whispering that you have heard enough. Do not listen to him. To silence my voice now is to silence your own destiny just before the finish line. My heart burns to give you the final keys to your kingdom assignment. Do not extinguish that fire by walking away. Do not let fatigue rob you of the finale. Finish this race with me. My child, we must address the delays in your obedience. I am not looking for your sacrifices, but I am looking for your surrender. You try to compensate for your disobedience by doing good things. You give money, you serve, you sing loud, but you still haven't done the one thing I asked you to do. Samuel told Saul, to obey is better than sacrifice. Delayed obedience is disobedient. If you tell your child to clean their room, and they say, "I'll do it next week," that is disobedience. When I tell you to move, I mean now. When I tell you to forgive, I mean now. Your delay is a sign of distrust. I am looking for a willing heart, not just a busy hand. You can be busy for God and yet distant from God. You can be doing the work of the Lord while ignoring the Lord of the work. I don't need your labor as much as I need your loyalty. I don't need your skills. I need your yes. A willing heart is pliable. It is soft clay in my hands. Are you rigid? Are you arguing with me? Stop negotiating. I am not looking for a consultant. I am the commander. Surrender your agenda. Surrender your timeline. Give me a blank check with your life and sign your name at the bottom. Do what I told you to do last. That is the key to your next step. You are asking me for new direction, but you haven't finished the last instruction. Why would I give you step 5 if you haven't done step 1? Go back. What was the last thing I clearly told you to do? Did I tell you to apologize to that person? Did I tell you to start that project? Did I tell you to give that offering? Go back and do it. That is the key that unlocks the next door. You are circling the same mountain because you refuse to pass the test of obedience. Pass the test so we can move on. Trust me enough to obey even when it doesn't make sense. My ways are not your ways. I might ask you to march around a city 7 times in silence. I might ask you to dip in a muddy river. I might ask you to give away your last meal. It won't make sense to your logic, but it makes perfect sense to your destiny. Faith is obeying when you don't understand. If you can explain everything I ask you to do, you are not walking by faith. You are walking by sight. Trust my character even when you don't understand my commands. I see the end from the beginning. My instructions are for your victory. Your obedience unlocks blessings for generations after you. Abraham obeyed, and because of him, all the nations of the earth are blessed. Your obedience is not just about you. It is about your children and your children's children. When you break the cycle of disobedience, you open a floodgate of blessing for your lineage. Do you want your children to walk in favor? Then you walk in obedience. Show them what it looks like to say yes to God whatever the cost. Your life is a seed, planted in the soil of obedience, and the harvest will be generational. Surrender your will and say, "Not my will, but yours be done." This is the ultimate prayer. This is the Gethsemane prayer. Jesus sweated blood to say this prayer. It is the death of the ego. It is the death of the self. But on the other side of that death is resurrection power. Lay down your plans. Lay down your rights. Lay down your expectations. Say, "Lord, I trust you with the steering wheel." When you truly surrender, the struggle stops. A peace comes. A battle is over because you have stopped fighting against God and started flowing with Him. Surrender is not defeat. Surrender is the victory. My child, I want to speak to the deep ache in your soul that feels like you have wasted time. You look back at your life and you see holes. You see years that were devoured by addiction, by a bad marriage, by fear, or by illness. You call them lost years. You grieve them. You think, if only I could go back. If only I had made different choices. You cannot go back, but I can make the future so glorious that the past fades into a shadow. I am the God of restoration. I promise you today, I will restore the years the locusts have eaten. The locusts of depression, the locusts of poverty, the locusts of sin. They took a lot, didn't they? But they did not take me. And because you still have me, you have the seed of your comeback. What the enemy stole, I will return sevenfold. This is legal spiritual restitution. The thief has been caught. He stole your peace. He stole your joy. He stole your confidence. But I am the righteous judge, and I am ruling in your favor. I am forcing the enemy to pay back what he took, with interest. Do not settle for just getting back to normal. I don't want you just to survive, I want you to thrive. If you lost a job, I have a career for you. If you lost a relationship, I have a covenant connection for you. If you lost your health, I have divine vitality for you. Do not lower your expectations because of your loss. Raise them because of my power. Broken dreams are being resurrected in my hands. You buried some dreams a long time ago. You had a funeral for them. You said, that will never happen now. I am too old. I miss my chance. Who told you that? I am the resurrection and the life. I specialize in bringing dead things out of tombs. Roll away the stone of your unbelief. Let me touch that dead business idea. Let me touch that dead ministry vision. Let me touch that dead hope. I am breathing life into it right now. Can you feel the pulse returning? Do not despise the day of small beginnings. What looks dead to you is just sleeping to me. Your latter days will be greater than your former days. You have a tendency to romanticize the past. You think your best days are behind you. That is a lie. I save the best wine for last. The glory of the latter house shall be greater than the former. You are moving from glory to glory, not glory to decline. Your wisdom is greater now. Your faith is deeper now. Your roots are stronger now. You are prepared for a weight of blessing that the younger you could not have carried. Get ready for the second wind. Get ready for the encore. The finale of your life is going to be the most beautiful part of the symphony. I'm turning your mourning into dancing. I see the sackcloth of heaviness you have been wearing. It is itchy, it is uncomfortable, and it does not fit you. Take it off. I had a garment of praise for you. I am trading your ashes for beauty. It is a divine exchange. You have cried enough. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Check the clock, my child. It is morning. Wipe your eyes. Wash your face. Put on your dancing shoes. I am giving you a reason to smile again. I am giving you a reason to laugh again. The sound of rejoicing is returning to your house. Believe that I am the God of the turnaround. I can turn a situation around in 24 hours. Ask Joseph, one day in prison, the next day in the palace. Ask Daniel, one night in the lion's den, the next morning vindicated. Do not look at the concrete walls of your situation and say, it's impossible. I love impossible. Impossible is where I start. I am turning the tables. I am reversing the curse. I am flipping the script. What the enemy meant for evil, I am turning for your good. Trust the turnaround, King. Your story does not end in defeat. It ends in victory. My child, we must talk about the horizon. We must talk about the event that all of history is rushing toward. I am coming soon. This is not a fairy tale. This is not a metaphor. The King is returning. I need you to keep your lamp trimmed and burning. Do you remember the parable of the 10 virgins? 5 were wise and had oil. 5 were foolish and ran out. The oil represents the Holy Spirit, intimacy, and readiness. You cannot borrow oil from your pastor. You cannot borrow oil from your grandmother. You must have your own supply. Are you burning bright? Or is your flame flickering out because you are so consumed with the cares of this life? Trim the wick. At Fresh Oil, be ready. Live with an eternal perspective, not a temporary one. You are living for the dot, but you should be living for the line. The dot is your 70 or 80 years on earth. The line is eternity. Why are you stressing so much about the dot? Why are you building mansions on the dot? Why are you hoarding treasure on the dot? It is all going to burn. It is all going to fade. Start sending your treasure ahead. Live for what lasts. When you make decisions, ask yourself, will this matter in 10,000 years? If the answer is no, don't give it your heart. Live with one eye on the clock of earth and one eye on the clock of eternity. Do not get comfortable in this world. You are a pilgrim here. You are staying in a hotel room. Earth is a hotel. It is not your home. Don't start painting the walls and nailing down the furniture. You are just passing through. Your citizenship is in heaven. When you get too comfortable here, you lose your hunger for there. You start to love the world. Friendship with the world is enmity with God. Do not drive your tent pegs too deep. Hold everything loosely. You ready to move at a moment's notice. You are an ambassador on a foreign assignment. Represent your home country well, but never forget where you belong. Let your life be found spotless and blameless upon my return. If I came back today, right now, what would I find you doing? What would I find you watching? What would I find you saying? Live in such a way that you would not be ashamed if I tapped you on the shoulder at this very moment. This is not about living in fear, it is about living in readiness. It is about keeping your accounts short. It is about walking in the light. Wash your robes in the blood of the Lamb daily. Keep your conscience clear. I am coming for a bride without spot or wrinkle. That means I am cleaning you up. Cooperate with the cleansing. Warn others that the King is coming. You know the truth. You know the bridge is out ahead. Would you let people drive off the cliff without waving your arms? You must sound the alarm. It is not hate speech to tell someone a fire is coming. It is love. Tell them there is a Savior. Tell them there is a rescue boat. People are sleeping. They are eating and drinking and marrying, just like in the days of Noah, oblivious to the rain that is coming. Be a Noah. Build the ark. Preach righteousness. Even if they mock you, warn them. Their blood will not be on your hands if you speak the truth in love. Set your hope fully on the grace to be brought to you at the revelation of Jesus Christ. The world is getting darker. The news is getting scarier. If your hope is in politics, you will be crushed. If your hope is in the economy, you will be crushed. Set your hope on the return. That is your blessed hope. The cavalry is coming. The rescue is coming. When you see all these things happening, wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes, do not look down in fear. Look up. Lift up your head. Your redemption draws near. The final chapter is not a tragedy. It is a triumph. Maranatha. Come, Lord Jesus. My child, come closer. Let me wrap my arms around you. I know you have felt unloved. I know you have felt rejected by people who were supposed to care for you. But I need you to know this in the deepest marrow of your bones. Nothing can separate you from my love. Absolutely nothing. Not your mistakes. Not your past. Not your depression. Not your anger. Not even death itself. My love is not like human love. Human love is fragile. It breaks when you mess up. My love is a covenant. It is iron. It is eternal. I love you at your worst, and I love you at your best. I am not going anywhere. You are stuck with me, and I am gladly stuck with you. I have loved you with an everlasting love. Everlasting means it has no beginning and no end. I didn't start loving you when you got saved. I loved you when you were formed in the womb. I loved you when you were running from me. I loved you when you were cursing my name. My love drew you in. My love chased you down. My love broke down the door of your heart. You cannot earn it, and you cannot lose it. Injustice. Stop trying to perform for me. You don't perform for love, you perform from love. Rest in the fact that you are the object of my affection. Even if your mother and father forsake you, I will hold you close. I know the pain of family wounds. I know the deep scar of a father who wasn't there or a mother who couldn't love you right. But I am the father who never leaves. I am the mother who never forgets her nursing child. I am filling the gaps in your heart. I am reparenting you. I am showing you what healthy, stable, consistent love looks like. When everyone else walks out, I walk in. When everyone else gives up on you, I am just getting started. You are not an orphan. You are a beloved son. You are a cherished daughter. You are precious in my sight. I died for you. Look at the cross. That is how much you are worth. Value is determined by what someone is willing to pay. I paid with the life of my son. I paid with the highest currency in the universe. That means you are infinitely valuable. Stop talking down to yourself. Stop calling yourself worthless. You are expensive. You were bought with a price. When the enemy tries to tell you that you are nothing, point to the cross and say, "That is what God thinks of me." Let my love heal the deepest wounds in your soul. My love is not just a fuzzy feeling. It is a healing balm. It seeps into the cracks of your broken heart. It touches the places no one else can reach. It heals the trauma of abuse. It heals the sting of betrayal. It heals the ache of loneliness. Open your heart and let my love flow in like a river. Let it wash away the bitterness. Let it wash away the rejection. Soak in my love. Bathe in it. Let it restore your soul. Rest in the knowledge that you are fully known and fully loved. To be fully known and rejected is our greatest fear. To be fully known and fully loved is our greatest need. I know everything about you. I know the dark thoughts. I know the hidden sins. I know the shameful memories. I see it all, and I love you anyway. You don't have to hide. You don't have to wear a mask. You can be naked and unashamed before me. I know the worst about you, and I still chose you. Relax. You are safe here. You are home. My child, we have come to the moment of action. We've gritted. Now, the briefing is over. The mission begins. Now that you have heard my voice, you must move. Faith without works is dead. Insight without action is just entertainment. Do not just be a hearer of this word, be a doer. I am opening the door. I am pointing to the field. It is time to leave the comfort of the harbor and sail into the open sea. You are not just a reservoir of blessing. You are a river. It must flow out. I am sending you out as a sheep among wolves. Be wise and harmless. I am not sending you to a playground. I am sending you to a battleground. The world will not always applaud you. They may hate you. They may misunderstand you. Be smart. Be wise. Do not cast your pearls before swine. Know when to speak and when to be silent. But also be harmless. Keep your heart pure. Do not become bitter like the world. Do not become cynical. Keep the innocence of a dove but the wisdom of a serpent. Navigate the culture without being contaminated by the culture. My authority goes with you. Do not be afraid. You are not going in your own name. You are going in the name above all names. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere shifts because I walk in with you. You carry the kingdom. You have the badge of authority. You have the keys to bind and loose. When you speak to the demonic, they must flee. When you pray for the sick, they shall recover. Do not be intimidated by the darkness. You are the light. Darkness has no choice but to flee when you show up. Walk with your head high. You represent the King. Make disciples of all nations, teaching them to observe my commands. This is the Great Commission, not the Great Suggestion. Your job is not just to get to heaven. Your job is to depopulate hell. Find someone. Mentor someone. Teach them how to follow me. Pour what I have poured into you into someone else. Christianity is always one generation away from extinction. You are the link in the chain. Pass the baton. Don't drop it. Make copies of yourself. Discipleship is messy. It takes time, but it is the only thing that changes the world. Lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the age. You are never alone. When you are standing in the boardroom, I am there. When you are changing diapers, I am there. When you are witnessing to a neighbor, I am there. I am your silent partner. I am your constant companion. I will never leave you nor forsake you. You have the Creator of the universe backing you up. What is there to fear? If God be for you, who can be against you? Go now, my child, and fulfill the destiny I have placed within you. The world is waiting, creation is groaning for the manifestation of the sons of God. That is you. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop waiting for permission. I have given you permission. I have given you power. I have given you purpose. Rise up. Shake off the dust. Put your hand to the plow and do not look back. Run your race with endurance. Finish strong. I will be watching. I will be cheering. And one day, I will be waiting at the finish line to say, "Well done, good and faithful servant." Go. The time is now. My beloved, we have journeyed deep into my heart, but revelation without participation remains incomplete. I am building a legacy through this ministry that will stand long after you are gone, a beacon of light for generations yet unborn. I ask you now to lay a foundation stone for the future by offering a financial sacrifice of love to keep this fire burning. Whether through membership, super thanks, or a donation, let your giving be a tangible declaration that you are fully committed to my kingdom work. As you honor me with your substance, I promise to build your house, secure your borders, and leave a blessing upon your lineage. Do not let this moment pass without sealing it. Make a covenant with this ministry today. Go to the link, give generously, and secure your part in this eternal work right now. Do not let this word fade like a mist. You must anchor it in the physical realm to shift the spiritual atmosphere around you. I call you to step out of the shadows of silence and seal your destiny right now by making a public declaration. Prophesy your victory by writing these words below. I receive my urgent deliverance today. As you type, believe that the chains are crumbling, the obstacles are dissolving, and the heavy gates of your breakthrough are swinging wide open. I am watching over your faith to perform it. Declare it now, my child, and watch me move. Amen.